Well, we just saw the Chiefs lock their arms as a sign of solidarity. The players have said after thoughtful discussions as a group regarding the national anthem, they would show this sign of unity. Our goal, they say, is to be unified as a team, be respectful of everyone's opinions in the remembrance of 9/11. We want to make a positive impact in our communities. We're going to continue to have conversations and educate ourselves with local law enforcement officials and leaders to make an impact. Now it is time for football at Arrowhead and the NFL. Today's game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. The Chargers won the toss. They have deferred. The Chiefs will receive.
Kicking off for San Diego, Josh Lambo. Back deep for Kansas City.
There's Niall Davis with Lambo kicking off for the San Diego Chargers. Rich, you've had a lot of opening days in your career.
Kevin, this is as good as it gets. It's the Chiefs, it's the Chargers, it's an AFC West battle, and I'm just thrilled to be alongside you, brother.
Here we go. Me too. Another year with you. That's as good as it gets. Out of the end zone. It's a touchback with the new rule this year. Out to the 25-yard line. Kansas City begins their 1st and 10. 47th start for Chiefs quarterback Alex Smith in a Kansas City uniform.
And he's coming off his best season as a pro, career high in passing yards. He's very efficient throwing the ball. He completed over 65% of his throws, and he rushed for almost 500 yards. There's not a lot he can't do.
He's about as good as any quarterback, Rich, in the NFL and running the ball. He extends plays by doing that.
And the Chargers are going to have to be very disciplined with their eyes in the rush lanes. You're right, Kevin. He has no problem pulling the ball down and making some plays with his legs.
Wilson in motion, 1st and 10. White to work. And he's got his receiver at about the 30-yard line. That's Macklin with a gain of 5. He's up to the 30-yard line. They start a rookie on that line. That's Parker Anger. He's a rookie out of Cincinnati. But a stout line, they think one of the best they've had. And they've been together the entire training camp. And in the backfield with Charles out, Spencer Ware will be back there. And you like him.
I really like him. I think he's a tough back. There's not a lot he can't do, Kevin. Very good in the passing game. He'll block. And he's got very soft hands.
After Macklin's 5-yard catch, here's a 2nd down and 5, and it's Macklin again. Shoved out of bounds by the Pro Bowl quarterback, Jason Verrett. It is a gain of 7. And they've got the ball now in pretty good position out of the box, 37-yard line. They think that Brendan Mevane, who has come over as a free agent from Seattle, will solidify their line. Pylon will start in place of the ineligible Joey Bosa. They got Melvin Ingram, who led him in sacks a year ago. Teo was in the middle with leading tackle numbers last year, and Verrett was just covering. He has been a wonderful addition to that secondary now in his 3rd year out of TCU. 1st and 10. Here comes Smith, and they got him to the backfield. Where, with room to roam, Kelsey with a lead block and a tackle made by Perriman and Lowry. And it's a catch and run of 28, and the Chiefs are on the move at the 35 of San Diego.
Well, the Chiefs run the ball so well, they show you this misdirection. The linebacker has his eyes in the backfield. It's just enough for Spencer Ware to get out on the edge. And as we know, Alex Smith, as good as there is in football at throwing the ball on the move outside the pocket.
1st down and 10.
Yeah, bring it, Fitz.
Smith last year against the Chargers completed 72% of his passes. He's on that same track today. In fact, even better, nice tackle behind the line of scrimmage made there by Legion. And a loss of a yard. Ware finds no running room back to the 36. And Rich, let's size up these two units, the offense and defense.
Well, let's start with Kansas City's offense. Kevin, the strength of their offense is the running game, regardless of who's in there at running back position. Weakness, they need more production opposite Jeremy Macklin. Defensively, Ingram and Verrett are rising stars in this league. The defense, the run defense for San Diego has been an issue the last 2 seasons.
Nickel secondary right now for San Diego. 2nd down and 10. Ware, some blocking up ahead there for Mitchell Schwartz, who's the right tackle. Comes over as a high-priced free agent from Cleveland. A gain of 6 right there for Ware, who is out of LSU.
You look at who the Kansas City Chiefs are offensively. I think Andy Reid's version of the West Coast offense features a passing attack really predicated on timing and precise short and intermediate routes with an emphasis on the running game. I mean, as a unit, they rushed for over 2,000 yards the last season under Andy Reid.
And 1-5 a year ago, then the greatest single season turnaround within the confines of a year. Charkandrick West is in 3rd and 4. Smith buys time, and he was looking down the sideline for West, and nice coverage by linebacker, and he's a rookie out of Akron, Tavis Brown. They like him a lot. He was the MAC Defensive Player of the Year. And so Kansas City will try for 3. The defense of the Chargers, Rich, does their job.
That was well done by San Diego defensively. The communication, you look at that formation, and I'm interested to see how they do without their Pro Bowl safety, Eric Weddle. I think it's forced everyone in the secondary to communicate more.
So here's Cairo Santos, 3 years out of Tulane, 47-yard try, a bit of a breeze at his back on this natural grass surface here at Arrowhead Stadium. Opening drive of the game, and Santos will put the Chiefs on top on a 47-yarder, 3-0. Couple minutes into the first quarter. Coming up, the great Phillip Rivers and the San Diego offense. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Rich, what'd you think of the first drive by Kansas City?
Very efficient, Kevin. They couldn't convert to 3rd down, but this is a very good opening drive team. Last year, they scored on half of their opening drive opportunities.
Santos is going to kick off for the Chiefs. As the Chargers are set to get it for the first time. And they're going to leave it in the end zone. It was caught that time by Craig Mager, who is a defensive back. He's out of Texas State, and he goes to a knee. Here is Phillip Rivers, the record-setting quarterback all-time, number 14 in passing yards.
And last season, San Diego made a commitment to their quarterback with a 4-year contract extension. This year, they back it up, that commitment on the field, by adding a receiver, 2 offensive linemen in free agency, a tight end, and a center high in the draft. He needs help, Kevin. He can't do it himself. They have to play better around Phillip Rivers.
And he'll look into the Kansas City nickel. 1st and 10.
They have to handle this crowd noise early, which can be deafening here at Arrowhead.
Woodhead on the move. Tall line right across the middle quickly. Keenan Allen heard from and works it up to the 38. 14-yard pickup. And that is a first down. Matt Slauson was a starter for the Bears a year ago. Now he starts for San Diego. And Rivers thinks he's brought the line together. And the great 36-year-old Antonio Gates. Will this be his last season? Sunday he'll be in Canton. Today he's in Kansas City against the Chiefs. Gordon is in. Benjamin in motion. 1st and 10. Melvin Gordon, who's the #1 pick out of Wisconsin last year. Some nice tackling there. Alan Bailey on the line. And others, Poe, they throw him for a 2-yard loss. Then they go back to about the 37-yard line. We just mentioned Poe. Pro Bowler anchors the line. Bailey and Howard on each end. They love the depth of that line, too. Linebacker, though, we've got some issues without Justin Houston, but they do bring back Tom Bahali, a Pro Bowler, but did not take, as Rich said earlier, a single preseason snap. In the secondary, Eric Berry, the same, held out because of a contract. No preseason snaps. Next to him, Marcus Peters, last year's NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. 2nd down and 12. Woodhead, a burst. Up to about the 42, hit on the play by Ron Parker, and a gain right there of 6. They think they can run the ball, the Chargers, Rich, better this year. He's up to the 43.
Well, they went out and addressed the offensive line. They signed Matt Slauson. He brings great toughness and leadership to that group. This is a big offensive line, Kevin. You look at Dunlap at 330, Franklin 320. Fluker is a tackle playing guard at 340, and Barksdale's 325. This is a big group that can move people off the line of scrimmage. They face a Kansas City front 7 that really thrives on quickness and speed at the point of attack.
Woodhead is in. Dime secondary for Kansas City, 3rd and 6. The blitz. Throwing as he is hit, and it's caught on the play by Tyrell Williams. And look at him fly down the side. Finally tripped up and taken down across the way. He was hit by Gaines. He picks up 33, an explosive play to the Kansas City 24.
Well, this is terrific by Rivers. You're going to see the blitz. You're going to see Woodhead. He comes over and cleans it up. But a nice effort here by Phillip Rivers, sliding to his right and buying some time and still finding the open receiver against the blitz.
Tyrell Williams He's out of Western Oregon. Puts him in great beginning field position on this Charger opening drive of the game. Gordon is in, 1st and 10. Two tight ends.
Really no secret how they want to approach this against Phillip Rivers. They want to get some hits on Rivers early.
Gordon. And he has a burst. A good solid run, and there he goes into the secondary and inside the 10. Brought down by Zombo. 17-yard burst. Another first down for San Diego.
Well, this is good news for Charger fans. Melvin Gordon is a talented runner who struggled last year. I think he's going to be so much better in year 2. I think he's seeing things differently. I think he's healthy. He's playing quicker. Phillip Rivers talked about you can see it in his feet when you watch from behind how quick and decisive he is getting in and out of the hole.
In the 2 games a season ago, San Diego scored just 2 field goals, 1 in each game. Timeout taken here by Rivers. He saw some alignment that he didn't like. He's operating with the new offensive coordinator, Ken Whisenhunt. We haven't had a chance to talk about him, but they got together a couple years ago, and Rivers had one of his best seasons back in 2013. Chargers used their first timeout. He means a lot to Rivers in that offense, doesn't he, Rich?
And this made a lot of sense when you think about bringing back Ken Whisenhunt, a seamless transition back to Wiz, who was the offensive coordinator, Kevin, as you said, back in 2013 before taking the job in Tennessee. The good thing is they didn't have to spend the time in the offseason program introducing a new system and terminology, not just to the players, but to the coaches. When you bring in a coach like Wiz, and he's got a completely different philosophy and terminology and verbiage, now all of a sudden the running backs coach, the offensive line coach, the tight ends coach, the receivers coach, everybody has to learn a new system. They didn't have to do that in San Diego, and that's why they really hit the ground running in the offseason program.
Woodhead is in after that timeout taken by the San Diego Chargers and following the 17-yard run by Gordon. 1st and goal at the 7. They didn't score a touchdown against the Chiefs in 2 games last year. Play clock at 4. Rivers. And he was looking in the middle. There's no flag. There it comes. Keenan Allen was there. Gates in the vicinity. And they got Peters, who's in his 2nd season.
Defense, number 22. By rule, the ball replaced at the 1-yard line. First down.
Now 1st and goal at the 1.
You're going to look at the top of your screen. Right there. I could draw it. Oh, there he is. You're going to see Marcus Peters clearly grab Keenan Allen as he starts the break inside.
He also had tight end Hunter Henry in there too. Gordon is in. He's not scored a touchdown in the NFL. He runs into his own blocker, and there it is, number 1, with the lead block from Orlando Franklin, the left guard. A 1-yard touchdown run, and the Chargers are on top. That was sudden. Big plays along the way.
You're going to see Fluker block down. They're going to pull the left guard, and Melvin Gordon with a fullback in front of him. Derek Watt. This is where he's most comfortable in the eye.
Gordon took a lot of heat last year for not scoring as the number 1 pick out of Wisconsin. Had subsequent microfracture surgery in early January. He worked out with Adrian Peterson in the offseason in Houston. He said, I got leaner, meaner, and I understood the running game even more working with AP.
He got a better handshake, too.
He does. He's got a hard one. And there goes a extra point by Lambeau. Big plays, 17-yard run by Gordon, 33-yard catch and run by Williams. Then Gordon takes it across for 6.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. We remember. AT&T, mobilizing your world. And by the new 2017 Acura MDX, precision-crafted performance.
Rich, a pretty significant statement made by the Chargers on their first possession this afternoon.
And that's what you have to do here at Arrowhead. You have to get off to a good start. Answer score with a terrific opening drive by the Chargers.
Lambeau lets it go over his head. It's out and down to the 25-yard line with the touchback. Niall Davis letting it fly overhead. It's not too late to play NFL Fantasy. Join, draft, and play from anywhere with the all-new mobile app. Sign up free at NFL.com/fantasy. Chiefs are moving the ball pretty well, too. They got a 47-yard field goal on a 7-play drive, Rich, to get things started offensively for them.
You know, so much of this game, though, is situational football, your ability to convert third downs. And that's what hurt them that last drive. They couldn't convert the third down in the plus territory. These defensive coordinators spend all their time early in the week. Those third down, those sub packages, nickel and dime, and those different looks that they give you.
Double tight ends. Ware is in there. He finds another seam and takes it in the secondary. Denzel Perryman brings him down after a gain of 12. Let's take you to JB and Boomer in New York.
What a way for a rookie to start. That's right, Rich Cannon, you're going to love this. Take a look at Carson Wentz, off to a great start. 19-yard touchdown to Jordan Matthews. He was 4 of 5, 57 yards. He led his team on a 9-play, 75-yard drive to start his career. They lead 7-0 over the Browns. Back to the man with the voice, Kevin Harlan and Rich Gannon.
Hey, JP, thank you very much. Remember, they traded here now, pistol formation. They traded Bradford to Minnesota, and they put Wentz, who's got some bad ribs. Here comes Ware on first down, and he picks up a yard. He's brought down by Teo, who led him in tackles a season ago.
It's pretty good, Kevin, for Carson Wentz. The opening drive touchdown. Took me a couple years to throw my first touchdown. Did it in the first series. I don't know if that's fair, but he's going to be a good young player for them. Had a terrific career at North Dakota State as a member of the 5-time national champion Bison.
Second overall pick. Here comes the first overall pick out of Utah, who played for Urban Meyer. Alex Smith, second down and 9. Slings one downfield. Nice catch made. Grabbed by Chris Conley, a second-year receiver out of Georgia. It's a 13-yard gain. It's another first down to midfield.
Well, they're really counting on the second-year pro to take the next step in his development. Andy Reid told us he was here every day in the offseason. He put in a ton of work. And the most important thing, Alex Smith has confidence. He trusts him to do the right thing in a critical situation.
And that trust is a big deal between quarterback and receiver, isn't it?
And that's where they have to get better, Kevin. Opposite Jeremy Maclin, they need more production out of the second and third wide receiver.
So Kendrick West is in. First and 10. Russians, the read. Legit falls. Smith deftly works the sideline and tried to wait for someone to get open. Nice coverage by the Chargers secondary. We told you about Jamal Charles being out, and he's gone with the knee. Maybe next week, maybe the week after that. A healthy scratch for DeAnthony Thomas. Joey Bosa, the 2-time Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year and the 3rd overall pick, right back at Carson Wentz. We just saw at Philadelphia. He has a roster exemption. Also has a hamstring injury and has not played in a preseason game. Hasn't put the pads on, in fact, the entire summer. Second down and 10 right here. For Kansas City on their second possession after a 47-yard field goal. He's got time. He overthrows his receiver. That was Albert Wilson with the coverage by Brandon Flowers, who had some time here in Kansas City as a former second-round pick.
Kevin, working alongside me, you hear me often say you can't be late with your eyes. Alex Smith looking downfield, late to the flat. When you're late with your eyes, you have a tendency to miss throws. It really affects your accuracy.
Smith, of course, comes from San Francisco. He's now in his 4th year with Kansas City. He had some scars, didn't he, Rich, from that previous stop with the Niners?
Well, he grew up in a dysfunctional environment. He had 5 or 6 different offensive coordinators, Kevin, his first 5 years in the league, different head coaches. Too much change around a young quarterback.
It's 3rd and 10. Pressure, flag, down, fumble, and looks like the Chargers have fallen on it at the Kansas City 49. With some heavy hitting and a player down, too, for San Diego. The guy down is Darius Philon out of Arkansas. So flags and injuries on the field here in the first quarter. Jerome Boger is our referee today here in Kansas City. From Atlanta, Georgia.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding. Defense, number 22. Holding. Offense, number 72. These fouls offset, replay, 3rd down.
That's Verrett. He was called, and Eric Fisher, the starting left tackle for Kansas City, was called. So it stays 3rd and 10, and the player still down is Philon. Again, he's playing in Joey Bosa's spot where they got Bosa kind of pegged in. But an injury timeout and 6:11 to go. Chargers on top on a Gordon 1-yard touchdown run. Phylon walked off under his own power. That is a good sign. We'll try to update that as he's being attended to by the athletic trainers. But now Kansas City with those offensive and defensive penalties offsetting 3rd and 10 again for the Chiefs on their second possession.
And a huge break for Kansas City. Kevin, you look at Alex Smith, doesn't make very many mistakes, just 7 interceptions last year and no fumbles lost last season.
Somebody moved with Ware in the backfield.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 91. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
It's Karan Reed, who is a new signee from Detroit, waived by the Lions. Had 12 starts for the Lions a season ago.
3rd and 5 from the San Diego 40.
That's kind of standard operating procedure. You make a mistake, they yank you from the game.
You mentioned no Eric Weddle in that secondary. That is a big loss. Big voice gone for San Diego Ridge.
And now it's not just one voice. It's really imperative that other players, safeties, corners, take more of an active role in their communication on the back end.
It's Smith with a 35 quick hitter. Deflected and it goes incomplete. They were looking for O'Shaughnessy. Brown, the linebacker, the rookie linebacker, with a nice play.
He knows he's not going to get there, so he does the next best thing. He jumps up and is able to knock that one down. A lot of crossing routes. Chargers are aware of that. This is a quarterback that doesn't hold the ball very long. It comes out quick.
Colquitt will be punting off to Travis Benjamin. He has been the top punt return average guy the last 4 years. All with Cleveland. Colquitt, who's great getting the ball inside the 20. Benjamin lets it go. The volleyball. I think he stepped on the line. He did, and they're going to say it's a touchback. Close. Very, very close. Tyreek Hill, a rookie for the Chiefs, got down there and just about saved it. That is Melvin Gordon, who moments ago scored his first touchdown in his NFL career.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Outback Steakhouse. Bloomin' great.
Some images from the Giants-Chiefs game from September 23rd, 2001. That was the first NFL Sunday after the events of September 11th. Chiefs just punted. Second possession for Phillip Rivers. Benjamin on the move, 1st and 10. Played by Gordon. That line gives him time. He's on the money once again. Keenan Allen downfield. And they're working on the defensive back gains along with Peters to pick up a 15 on the play and a 1st down.
Not surprised to see the Chargers working after some of these younger corners, going after Steven Nelson, Phillip Gaines, as they switch on and off inside. Keenan Allen is going to be a handful. Surprised we're not seeing more of Marcus Peters travel with Keenan Allen.
Allen missed half of last season with a lacerated kidney. Healed and ready to go. He is a threat. 1st and 10. Melvin Gordon. Patience. Hard-earned run. Sambo jumps on his back and brings him down about the 40 with a gain of 5 on the play. And the scouting report for the offense of the Chargers and the D of KC.
Well, you look at the strength of the Chargers, not just their offense, their football team. It's the play they get from Phillip Rivers, the weakness, the running game last year, just 3.5 yards a rush, fewest in the league last season. Kansas City, they can rush the passer, we know that. But the inexperience that they have at the cornerback position is a concern for defensive coordinator Bob Sutton.
One of the best in the business. Woodhead is in. 5 in the secondary. 2nd down and 5. Good time for Rivers again. Going outside, incomplete. And they have the coverage by Gaines as they're going outside to Keenan Allen, a 4th-year receiver out of Cal.
Unlike Alex Smith, the Chiefs know exactly where Phillip Rivers is going to be in the pocket. And the great thing about Rivers is he won't flinch. He'll sit in the pocket. He'll hold it until the very last second. It's a bit unusual because your natural instinct is to throw it away or pull it down and run, but he has absolutely no fear.
We'll bring in Daniel Sorensen to play him in the box. 6 in the secondary, 3rd and 5. On the cross, quick slant. Caught by Allen. First down, San Diego 49. Pickup of 9.
Tackled by Marcus Peters.
Boy, Peters having a very difficult time. In fact, all the Chiefs corners are having a difficult time handling Keenan Allen at the line of scrimmage. Philip Rivers told us yesterday he is the best that he has worked with at the line of scrimmage, using those long arms to create separation from the defensive back.
Yeah, a couple guys talked about his explosion. Allen's explosion off the line.
His suddenness out of the break is what separates Keenan Allen.
Gordon is in, 1st and 10. Couple tight ends. The other way, Benjamin. And from behind they got Zombo, who is cut by Green Bay. It's a pickup of 8 on the play. Travis Benjamin, the king of comedy, is back on CBS. Kevin James returns to the place where it all started. Kevin Can Wait premieres Monday, September 19th. After the Big Bang Theory, only on CBS.
The Chargers have a nice little rhythm going offensively. They just look different to me, Kevin. They're healthy up front, which was a problem all last season. You've got Keenan Allen back. You've got a confident second-year pro in Melvin Gordon.
2nd down and 2. With a shot by Woodhead. He picks up 3 down to the 40-yard line. He's got a first down into Kansas City territory.
You can't forget about Danny Woodhead. He led the Chargers in receptions and receiving yards and touchdowns last year, receiving touchdowns. He is so good out of the backfield in the passing game. He presents a real matchup problem for linebackers and safeties.
I mean, 80 receptions last year for Woodhead. That's amazing.
You know, we talked to defensive coordinator Bob Sutton. He said he plays the running back position like a great slot receiver. It's a great understanding of coverages and leverage.
Watt and Gordon in the eye. Watt leading him as he did in Madison. Look at Gordon continue to fight. There is no questioning why he wears that number 28 because of Adrian Peterson. Gain of 5. Let's take you to New York with an update.
A lot of optimism in Oakland. Boy, they look good too, JB. This is Latavius Murray. He's going to go in for 6 yards. Look at him just plow into the end zone. Amari Cooper on this series alone, 3 catches for 73 yards. The plays, 7 plays, 91-yard drive. Raiders lead 10-3 over the Saints.
Quarterback can appreciate a strong ground game. Back to Kevin Harlan.
James, thank you very much. Here's 2nd down and 5. 8th play of the drive. Another long drive by San Diego. Moves up niftily. Buying time. Gates. Tried to get him down with DJ across the way. Derek Johnson close to a first down near the 30-yard line. With a pickup of close to 5. Let's call it 4. Let's see if they move the chains here. They're right on that 30-yard line of Kansas City.
Ken Wisenhunt has been talking to Philip Rivers all week about stepping up in the pocket. And you look at the edge rushers that the Chiefs have, and you see the extra step up in there. He keeps the ball in a throwing position, eyes downfield. And when he needs a completion, he knows right where to go. Old faithful Antonio Gates.
March Lillard made the stop after Derek Johnson couldn't bring him down. 3rd and 1. Gordon is in. Multiple tight ends. Timeout Rivers. 2nd 1.
That's the second one. Yeah, Kevin. It's some issues getting lined up offensively.
Your weekend starts here Thursday. The Jets have a run-in with the Bills and their old coach, Rex Ryan. Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. Well, I know what happened late last year. Bills knocked the Jets out of contention for the postseason.
Tyrod Taylor in year 2. Long off-season holdout from Ryan Fitzpatrick.
3rd down and 1. Gordon is in. Gordon. And he's got the first down. Look at him continue to work. What determination. Johnson brings him down. Gain of 3 to the Kansas City 27.
Boy, he's breaking a bunch of tackles early in this one. And Kevin, I was so impressed when we sat down and visited with him yesterday, just how strong he is physically. Whoa. I mean, you look at his chest, his biceps. I mean, he's really worked hard this offseason. You mentioned the workouts with Adrian Peterson. He talked about Adrian Peterson wanting to do it all in the morning, where Melvin Gordon said, I want to spread it out over the course of a day because I was exhausted in working with AP.
Woodhead is in. 5-minute drive orchestrated by Phillip Rivers. 1st and 10. Woodhead flipping with a block. And he'll scat his way inside the 15-yard line. Got tripped up on the play. Another burst. They continue to gouge Kansas City. It's a gain of 12 and a first down to the 15 of the Chiefs. That will conclude the first quarter. A 1-yard touchdown run by Gordon. AFC West, Chargers and Chiefs are going into the second quarter of play. Here's a look at some of the numbers and happenings in our first quarter at Arrowhead.
It felt like one of the keys for San Diego, their ability to establish the rush. 51 rushing yards already in this one.
11th play of the drive. 1st and 10. Right to Gordon. He'll block. Rivers. And he was looking to the near side for his rookie tight end, Hunter Henry out of Arkansas. Mackey Award winner. Good coverage on the play. Incomplete. Mike McCoy, 4th-year head coach for these Chargers, 4-12 season a year ago. Revamped his offensive staff. You alluded to that earlier, and it's paying dividends here in the first game of the season.
Also made some changes with their special teams group, which was one of the worst in football a season ago.
With a 2nd and 10 handoff, Woodhead. Slippery into about the 6 and close to a first down and brought down by Eric Berry. Gain of 9, maybe 10 on the play, depending on the spot at the 5.
Danny Woodhead is such a tough tackle, and sometimes if you're a defensive player, you can't find him. He gets lost behind that big, massive offensive line. He is slippery. Does a great job staying low and making sure he doesn't get a clean hit.
3rd and 1.
3rd down.
Again, they got J.J. Watt's younger brother, Derek Watt, ahead of Melvin Gordon. Couple Badger running backs. Is this a timeout? It is the 3rd and final in the first half, and it comes with 14:10 to play in the first half.
You just don't expect a veteran team to be burning timeouts with a quarterback like Phillip Rivers.
Well, we've talked about Gordon a lot. He is hale and hearty and playing well in this opening game.
Yeah, too often he looked like a fish out of water running from the gun last season. It's not something he did in college. The looks are different, the footwork's different, but check out this run in the preseason from the eye with a fullback in front of him, Derek Watt, to clear the way. It's where he's most comfortable. It looks right to him, and he can hit it downhill, and that's what he is. He is a powerful one-cut runner that can be explosive in the open field.
Chargers bring in another tackle, Harrison. He will be on the right side of the line near Gates. 3rd and 1. Gordon, touchdown. Well, after not scoring at all on the ground a year ago, he has scored 2 touchdowns in less than a half in game 1 in his 2nd season. Melvin Gordon.
Well, you think he's going to follow the fullback, but he starts down, and you look at this big gap on the backside, the A-gap between the center and the guard. The Chiefs overrun this, and talk about a back that runs with his eyes and has a nose for the end zone. He looks like a different player already this season.
We know he had the knee injuries last year, had the microfracture January 5th. He's come back, a great offseason as we've talked about. Lambeau tacks on one more. And Melvin Gordon, that was his entire season. And then today, he's had 7 carries and 2 touchdowns, 1 of a yard. And right here, corkscrewing in from 6, Chargers build their lead. We're back at Arrowhead in Kansas City. Get the CBS Sports app for inside access to your favorite team from the front office to the front row. You'll get instant coverage of every moment from every angle. Download the CBS Sports app today. What a drive by San Diego. Another good one. They've had it twice. They've scored both times, both on Gordon touchdown runs. On that one, that last one, Rich, they were 3 of 3 on third down.
Yeah, 4 third downs today, Kevin. All third 6 or less. 4 for 4. And the reason why is they've been so productive running the football on the early downs with Melvin Gordon.
He is a completely different back. He looks slicker. I mean, physically, he looks different. Lost a little bit of weight. And very positive, very confident. We talked to him yesterday. Lambeau's kickoff. This will again sail over the head of Niall Davis and out to the 25-yard line for a third consecutive beginning start for Kansas City.
Well, some real physical runs to start the game for Melvin Gordon. Just from talking to Philip Rivers yesterday, he said he was beat down last year with the injury, the fumbles, being held without a touchdown. I think it took him a while to figure out that the size of a rushing lane in the NFL is a whole lot smaller than back in college at Wisconsin. But what Philip Rivers said was that the decisiveness with which he is hitting the hole, he's seeing things better. Got a chance to see both those guys, Philip Rivers and Kellen Clemens, at church early this morning, Kevin.
Good. I'm glad to know you were there. 1st and 10. Fake to Ware. Oh, here they come, and down he goes. Reed gets him. Also a hit by Mebane. Atachu. They had him coming from every angle. It's the first sack and a loss of 9, and he is back to the 16.
Yeah, you're going to see some pressure inside, and the concern that the Chiefs have is they have an inexperienced left guard in Anger. He's going to get worked over. They can't make the correction, and it's a big-time sack for the Chargers.
Now 2nd down and 19. Yep, Anger is the rookie. And as Andy Reid told us on Friday, we got to keep an eye on him. He's going to get some help from Morris. That center, he's young as well, and it's a handoff. This goes to the hard-charging Spencer Ware, who began his career with Seattle. It is a gain of 10. And he's up to about the 27. Let's go back to New York with JB and Boomer.
Flacco with a new weapon.
I'll tell you what, you talk about two teams coming back from injury-riddled season, the Chargers and the Ravens. Here's Joe Flacco hitting Mike Wallace, his new wide receiver. That's for 66 yards. They lead the Buffalo Bills 10-0. As a matter of fact, Joe Flacco 10 of 13, 165 yards, and that touchdown.
Kevin Harlan, Rich Gannon.
And Flacco coming back from an ACL.
Yeah, he looks good, Kevin.
He does. 3rd and 9 here. They need the 35. Looks into the nickel. Flag.
Before the snap, all-star, offense, number 10, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That was on the rookie Tyreek Hill. He's out of West Alabama. 5th round pick. 3rd and 14 now for Andy Reid.
Well, the mistakes early, a real problem for Andy Reid in this offense.
6 now defensive backs for San Diego. 3rd and 14. Here they come again, and down he goes. Atachu. Oh, they beat the right tackle on that play. Mitchell Schwartz. He came in off the right side of the line. And Atachu, a third-year player with a big sack, loss of 13.
Well, this is the matchup that Chargers won. Atachu matched up on Mitchell Schwartz. They spent a lot of money. He gets double-teamed. Ware comes in and gets a chip, but he doesn't give up. Alex Smith runs right into that sack. That ball has to come out. Good effort there by Atachu.
Big play. Defense looks good for the Chargers as well. Dustin Colquitt will punt. Benjamin is back deep. Breeze in his face. Not a very long punt. Benjamin on the move from the Kansas City 45. They only had, the Chargers as a team, 84 total punt return yards a season ago. Sometimes he gets that in a half. Benjamin, 8-yard return, 39-yard punt. Only a 4-1 hang. Not good. It's a good beginning position now coming up for San Diego. Couple sacks on Alex Smith. Chargers on top.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Genesis. Take a breath of fresh luxury. Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the next-gen network. And by Domino's. Order online at domino's.com.
First and 10 Chargers from the Kansas City 38-yard line.
After the 3-and-out by Kansas City in their second consecutive punt, you can see it right there. The return takes them to the 38-yard line. With a first and 10, Woodhead is in the backfield with the quarterback, Phillip Rivers. Nice tackle right there. Zombo, he's been in a couple. They hold him no gain. They stay at the 38.
This place has gotten quiet. San Diego racing off to a 14-3 lead here in the first half with those first two possessions. 6 plays, 13 plays, both and in a touchdown run from Melvin Gordon. Kansas City has to get something going here defensively.
Gordon likes it when Rivers is under center as opposed to the gun, huh, Rich?
Yeah, that's his comfort level. I think we'll see a lot more of it this year from the Chargers.
Second and 10, they go outside, and this is grabbed by Allen with Peters on him. There's a flag. He's down to the 31 as it stands now with a gain of 7 with some jawing after the play.
The face mask on Marcus Peters,
who has struggled today, obviously, with the secondary and the coverage for Kansas City.
I didn't get the sense in visiting with the Chargers that they were overly concerned with Marcus Peters, who was the defensive rookie of the year and tied for the league lead interceptions with 8.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 22, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Just keep an eye on Keenan Allen as he's going to the ground. Peters is going to get that right hand in there and whip it around. They'll call that every time. Keenan Allen is so strong.
First and 10 Chargers
Can really hurt you after the catch. I just think that the Chargers feel like they're just going to run their offense. They're not going to necessarily work away from Marcus Peters and go after the other 2 young corners. They're just going to run their offense and let Phillip Rivers make the decisions.
Chiefs have 4 defensive backs. First and 10, Gordon. He'll dive head over heels. He's down near the 11-yard line. And hit by Howard and others. It's a gain of 6 on the play and a flag.
Holding, offense, number 34, 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Derek Watt, the rookie fullback, is called. 6th-round pick. He and Gordon got along very well when at the University of Wisconsin. One of the reasons why they bring him to San Diego in the draft.
He's going to be offset. He's going to go in there and just tackle the linebacker in the hole.
Don't really talk a lot about Tamba Hali, but he is in there for the Chiefs. Did not take a preseason snap. They're on a snap count with him. He's 91 right there at about the 25. First and 20 for Rivers. Woodhead is in. It's Woodhead on a screen. And a hard-charging play from the secondary by Phillip Gaines on a catch and run of 7 by Woodhead to the 20 of the Chiefs.
But one of the reasons why this offense looks a lot different to me, Kevin, it's the play of the offensive line. Dunlop, Franklin, Slauson, Fluker, Barksdale. They're big, they get movement at the point of attack, and they've done a nice job creating a pocket around Phillip Rivers in the passing game.
Returning 4 of 5 starters. The new guy is the center Slauson, who they credit with bringing the line together in this camp. Second down, 13 for Rivers. Across the middle, there's Gates with a nice move in tight. He credits that to his basketball days at Kent State. Gain of 8, nice play, and he's down to the Kansas City 12.
He is still a very crafty route runner. He does a terrific job of positioning his body to gain separation and critical first downs in the middle of the field. He is really explosive in tight areas. You mentioned the basketball background really helps Antonio Gates.
Justin March Slither brought him down to the linebacking core. Didn't play last year. First NFL game today in the regular season, second-year player. Here's a 3rd down and 5. Woodhead is in. Rivers, Benjamin. Good move, down to the 4 and a first down. Travis Benjamin, high-priced free agent from the Cleveland Browns. He does it all. It's a pickup of 8. Another 1st and goal for San Diego.
Well, Rivers and the Chargers are killing the Chiefs with this slant route. We've seen it time and time again from the right to the left. This time it's Benjamin. Marcus Peters having a very difficult time with the in-breaking routes.
Defensive coordinator Bob Sutton's got his hands full, obviously, today. Rivers has started 10 of 12, Rich.
And if you can't get hits on Phillip Rivers, it makes for a long day.
First and goal at the 4. Rivers, wide open, Woodhead, touchdown. He is the leading receiver coming out of last year in the red zone for the Chargers. And it's 20-3 San Diego. The first touchdown pass thrown today by Phillip Rivers.
Well, there's Woodhead. They just don't cover him out of the backfield. I mean, he's just going to go to the corner. And for some reason, they turn him loose in this part of the field. They play so much man-to-man coverage, nobody accounted for Danny Woodhead.
Woodhead last year was the #1 touchdown receiving running back in the league with his 80 catches, but #1 among backs in the end zone. Extra point is in. This is going to shock some people around the NFL. Rivers with the touchdown pass. Woodhead on the other end. Back in Kansas City, this season marks the 25th season of Red Friday. Members of the Chiefs family and community leaders sell Chiefs Kingdom flags to raise money. Since its inception, the Red Friday program has generated more than $1 million for local charities with a focus on serving youth. All right, we've got the Chargers, who come into today having lost 8 consecutive AFC West Division games. They've lost 4 straight to the Chiefs, who outscored them, Rich, last year 43-6. And that is our score midway through the second. Another one out of the end zone by Lambeau to the 25 and a touchback for Kansas City.
And you mentioned it, Kevin, to get things turned around, the Chargers need to start taking care of business in their own division. They lost all 6 last year in the AFC West. The matchups extending a skid of now 8 straight divisional losses. And you want to start winning the division, you better start taking care of business against the Chiefs and the Raiders and the Broncos.
What's been the Chiefs' problem today, in your view, through a quarter and a half here, Rich, to open up the season?
Too many mistakes, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They've had sacks, they've had penalties, they've had missed assignments. Can't do that against a good and well-coached San Diego defense.
The pistol with Ware. First and 10. Take that back. That's West. Runs out there and is knocked down on the play by Perriman. Charkandrick West with a gain of 8 on first down.
You look at the first 3 drives. It's been frustrating and too many negative plays. Tough to overcome when you're in second long, third long situations.
4 in the secondary, second down and 2. They get by Fisher. And that's the result. Smith goes down about the 33. He did gain a couple on the play, but boy, did he have pressure on him. Ingram getting off the pile, and also Leggett getting off the pile.
Chargers doing a really nice job keeping Alex Smith contained in the pocket. And if there's a negative, Kevin, sometimes Alex Smith has a difficult time giving up on a play. He's reluctant to throw the ball away and move on.
Every quarterback, though, struggles with that, don't they, Rich?
Well, we're so competitive, you think you can make every throw, but it's sometimes the best play, sometimes the only play is to throw it away and live for the next down.
West back there, 3rd and 1. And Ware, he tries to pile drive his way for the first. Looks like he's got it out near the 36-yard line with a gain of 2.
You look at this Kansas City offensive line, too many changes last year. They shuffled the deck with the big men up front. The last 2 seasons, everything from injuries to suspensions to poor play caused the changes. But the last year they didn't have a single position that was played by one man. All 5 took multiple starters, including the right tackle, where they had 4 different names that were penciled in the starting lineup. That's been a problem for Kansas City as well, Ken. Just some continuity up front.
In the 1st and 10, West, no place to run, no place to hide. Manti Te'o throws him for a loss of 5 back near the 31-yard line. He led him in tackles a year ago. Very smart player.
Well, it's a problem when you don't even block him. I mean, the back has no chance. You turn Manti Te'o loose on the hole. What do you expect from Jarkandrick West? Talked about the negative plays that continue to haunt the Chiefs early in this one.
Fourth-year player out of Notre Dame, second-round pick, second down and 15 for Kansas City. Chiefs have punted 2 consecutive possessions. And they go outside. Here's their Pro Bowl tight end, Travis Kelce. And it takes a village to bring him down. Finally, Mebane came over there to get him. The Pro Bowler, one of the top receiving tight ends a season ago. A catch and run of 13 out to the 43.
And he's become Alex Smith's security blanket. Very good speed and route running ability to go along with a great pair of hands. And he is a tough tackle, very physical in the open field.
Fourth-year player out of Cincinnati. Chiefs plan to use a lot of tight ends when they get going. Now they're playing from behind, different scenario, but a lot of times they're playing from behind, and Andy likes to go with multiple
tight end usage. You got it, Kevin. You're always curious to see how San Diego will match up defensively versus 2 and 3 tight end sets.
West, who led the team in rushing a season ago, is in. And they're going to go with a little swing pass right here. There was a nice lead block by Schwartz, but the quick closing defense was right there. Te'o and others. No gain on the play. Legion, I mean, they were just all going to the ball. He's shy of the first by a couple, and the Chiefs will punt for a 3rd consecutive time.
I really like Corey Leggett. He is an effort player. You see him right there in the middle of your screen with the big man run. He was their most consistent and productive performer a season ago. And they should only be better up front with the addition of Brandon Mebane, who came over in free agency from Seattle.
San Diego has taken this crowd completely out of the game. The punt by Colquitt, and it was signaled for a fair catch with a nice bounce. He puts about as many inside the 20 as any punter in the last couple decades. 49-yard, well-placed punt right there. Melvin Gordon has been the story. 2 rushing touchdowns, part of the 21-3 Charger lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light. Beer with your team on it. And by Auto Trader. Find your perfect new, used, or certified car on Auto Trader.
Well, being here in Missouri and Kansas is that show me some sunflowers. So we got that shot just outside Lawrence yesterday. Coming up in the Verizon Halftime Report, join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for scores and highlights and a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. All coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Rivers has been red hot. 11-13, hit 5 in a row. Gordon in the backfield with the rookie block from the fullback, and he tumbles ahead on 1st and 10. And he picks up 3. Rich, a couple times today, you've talked about the linebacking area being open for these crossing receivers. And, of course, the Chiefs are missing a couple linebackers they count on a lot.
A couple really good ones. You know, not having Justin Houston really makes things different. Tamba Hali did not play during the preseason. He was recovering from a knee injury. Talked about Justin Houston. He's on the PUP. He's going to miss the first 6 weeks of the season. Josh Malga, he's out for the season with a hip injury. So you're talking about a lot of key performers that haven't played together are going to be out of action for Kansas City.
They miss Malga. Whithead was in. It's 2nd and 7. Outside again they go. And losing his hat, but twirling for a first down is Keenan Allen. And a flag has been thrown at the 16-yard line across the way. Peters was over there on Allen. He has been an incredible threat today. That's his 4th catch for 44 yards.
Marcus Peters has been out of position, and
What's going on with Peters?
Well, he's taking some risk, and he's having a difficult time covering Keenan Allen. He's just trying to get a piece. He's just trying to get a piece of his jersey or his body to even make the tackle. Keenan Allen is working over Marcus Peters early in this one.
And it's ugly.
Talk about balance, the importance of balance offensively for San Diego. 13 runs, 14 passes so far for the Chargers.
Poe was in there talking, as was Peters. 2 touchdown runs by Gordon. Touchdown pass, 4 yards. Rivers to Woodhead. Chiefs have punted 3 consecutive times after getting a field goal on their first drive. Peters.
There is no foul on the play for a face mask. The defender did not pull the helmet open, causing the helmet to go off. Therefore, the play is dead right there. First down, San Diego.
But they've taken Peters off. 8-yard gain.
Clearly, Marcus Peters is frustrated right now. Kevin, he's not gotten off to a good start in this game. You see, not happy that Keenan Allen creates a little bit of separation there at the top, a little bit of a push-off, but this is the second time we've seen it where he's grabbed the face mask of Keenan Allen. Now he's going to go over there and start jawing with Phillip Rivers. They have better discipline.
They get a first down. They've emptied the backfield. 5 defensive backs for the Chiefs on a 1st and 10 for Rivers. Inside it goes. Woodhead is drilled. Nice play across the way by DJ White, the rookie out of Georgia Tech, and a 6th-round pick. No gain on the play. Chiefs want a timeout. Rich, on more than one occasion today, we've seen the Chargers bring in an extra offensive lineman to beef up that line, which is already one of the biggest in the NFL.
Yeah, and it's, in an effort to get some bigger bodies out there, better protection, and also to be able to come off on the ball a little bit and run the football with Melvin Gordon and Danny Woodhead. We talked about the balance that they've had in the running game and how important that is to the success of this Chargers offense this season. Last year, it was all about the passing game and Phillip Rivers. This year they know they have a special back, a talented back in Melvin Gordon, and he needs to get touches early and often.
Think about this. Last year, there were 26 different offensive line combinations for this San Diego team. They were 31st in rushing. Now all 5 working together. Slauson's addition has been huge. In fact, Rivers talked to us about it yesterday, saying he's been kind of the glue.
This graphic right here, this is dysfunctional. If you're a quarterback, 6 left tackles, 5 left guards, 3 different centers, the communication hub of the offensive line, 4 right guards and right tackles. It's a wonder that Phillip Rivers was able to line up under center and play all 16 weeks.
Rivers has hit 7 straight, 2nd down and 10. And across the middle, they've got the tight end. Gates running across, hit and brought down by Gaines. It's a gain of 8 on 2nd and 10. They'll put him at the San Diego 25.
He's just such a accomplished route runner. He understands the type of coverages, how teams are trying to defend him, and he does a nice job throttling across the middle of the field to give Phillip Rivers an easy target.
36-year-old Antonio Gates. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, JB and Company with scores and highlights and a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. All coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Peters is back in. One of 5 defensive backs. 3rd and 2. Chargers today 5 of 5 on 3rd down. And they get another one. March Lillard brings down Keenan Allen with another pinpoint throw, a gain of 11. And out to the San Diego 36. They keep the drive alive.
This is what you get with a veteran quarterback, a quarterback that can make changes. Look at the hand signals. Look at change the route at the line of scrimmage so they can get the slant route on the Chiefs.
2-minute warning. Got the 2-minute warning. San Diego is out of timeouts. They took the 3rd and final one early in the 2nd quarter. There's a 1st and 10. There goes a flag, and there goes Rivers. Woodhead looked like he scooped it up with the coverage on the play by Ron Parker. In a gain of 3 as it stands now, but the flag, as you saw, was thrown in there where Rivers was trying to escape. Ooh. And that is not a good sign. Here's a guy that missed half of last season, didn't even play in the 2 games against the Chiefs with the lacerated kidney. Year before, had a broken collarbone.
Holding, offense, number 76. Illegal contact, defense, number 20. These fouls all set. Replay. First down.
He's just had a succession of injuries, and they're taking a look at that right knee right there. After what has been a terrific opening season game by Keenan Allen. It was a third-round pick out of Cal 4 years ago. 63 yards on 6 receptions.
Well, it doesn't look good. That's unfortunate, Kevin. He was playing so well. And I think he's right down here. Oh, the near hash. There he is, right there. I'm sorry, inside. This is Allen right here. Yeah, just coming out of the break.
He sure did. Planning, cutting.
Sometimes it's the acceleration, deceleration that gets those receivers in the open field. And he went right down and started to clutch that right knee.
Looked like that non-contact that Jamal Charles had with his knee a year ago. And we step aside. The emotion of Keenan Allen, who was just taken off on a golf cart. And they'll look at him here and then maybe take him to the hospital. We'll have to find out. We'll get more on that when we receive it. But last year missed the last 8 games of the season with the lacerated kidney. Year before broke a collarbone, and it had such a great start, Rich, to the game today.
And he's had a string of bad luck, Kevin. That's unfortunate. You hope for the best. It's just hard to watch for a guy that's put so much time and effort into the offseason to get back on the football field.
You know, in those 8 games he played last year, he had 67 receptions.
He was off to a terrific start.
1st and 10, no timeout, San Diego. It's underneath in the linebacking core, exploited there by Woodhead out to about the 44. He picks up 8 on that play. Dontrell Inman now becomes a receiver that Rivers will be looking for, taking the place of the injured Allen.
This is an area of the game where Phillip Rivers has always excelled. Last year even, they were one of the best 2-minute teams in football. They had 12 scores in the final 2 minutes of the first half. They even come away with a field goal. The Chiefs would be down 3 touchdowns, and that would dramatically impact what they're able to do in the second half.
Woodhead in, 2nd down and 2. Woodhead will block. And they're going down the side as Peters was stride for stride with receiver Tyrell Williams, who's caught one already today. It's a big game.
You go up against this Kansas City secondary, you have to win the one-on-one battles. They play a ton of man-to-man coverage, and Phillip Rivers knows it. Now you have to ask yourself, what happens with Keenan Allen out of the lineup? What do the Chiefs do differently? Maybe some more pressure on Phillip Rivers.
Rivers had hit 10 consecutive passes until that miss right there. 3rd down and 2. You see the play clock at 4. Rivers looking for Gates out of the reach there. Coverage by Eric Berry. The AP Comeback Player of the Year. Berry was right there.
We don't see that too often when Phillip Rivers has good protection, just simply misses a throw to his Pro Bowl tight end Antonio Gates. When you're struggling a little bit, sometimes a big play in the kicking game can get you right back in it. That's what the Chiefs need right now from Tyreek Hill.
First NFL punt for rookie Drew Kaiser from Texas A&M. He sends this one to the near side as he's knocking this off to a rookie, and that was Tyreek Hill of Kansas City. Not much hang time and not much distance on the play. The Chargers, by the way, just making some housekeeping here, scoring a touchdown in their first 3 possessions for the first time in a decade. 2 rushing touchdowns by Gordon. 1 touchdown pass, Woodhead from Rivers.
And it makes Phillip Rivers' job so much easier.
Well, the wait is over, Rich. Be there when the Big Bang Theory kicks off with a star-studded premiere that'll have everyone talking. It all happens Monday, September 19th. Only CBS. Big Bang noise here with San Diego and Kansas City. So the Chiefs have a single timeout and 58 seconds with which to work. 5th straight start of the 25. 1st and 10. With a gain of 5 right there. Kelsey with another catch for the Kansas City Chiefs. 2nd down and 5 with a gain of 5 right there. from Kelsey.
Boy, the Chiefs really haven't challenged these San Diego corners. They've not even tried to push the ball down the field against the San Diego secondary.
West in the backfield, downfield they go. It's Kelsey, who's brought down by Dexter McCoyle. That's a 19-yard catch and run. And they're at midfield. Flag.
Holding. Defense, number 26. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Former Packer Casey Hayward.
You're just going to see Kelsey. He just works across the field. Really nice throw by Alex Smith. Talked about getting the ball down the field.
Chargers have 6 in their secondary. It's a first down for Kansas City with a timeout remaining for Alex Smith. Running for his life and throws it away. Again, they're getting pressure up the middle. And Reed, once again, who's already got a sack off that line. The free agent signed after he was let go by Detroit. Conjures up a 2nd and 10 coming up for the Chiefs.
Boy, Reed's really playing well. They're doing a nice job rotating big men through up front, keeping that group fresh. And that's really important. You think about the veterans and how little they play in the preseason anymore. So you can't expect them to come out and play 60, 65 snaps. You have to have some depth and talent along that defensive line, and they are healthy right now. You can see that with this Kansas City front seven, or San Diego front seven.
2nd down 10. West with the block, and the flip by Smith. And West with some nice play there from Brandon Flowers, who's lost weight much quicker, had a disappointing season a year ago. It's a gain of 3 on the play, down to the 47-yard line of San Diego.
Well, he did have a disappointing season last year. The injuries, the inconsistent play, but John Pagano, the defensive coordinator, said he got himself in shape. They're expecting him to really play well opposite Jason Verrett.
Played 6 years in Kansas City after being a 2nd-round pick out of Virginia Tech. 3rd and 7. Chargers still in the down. 3rd and 7 with a timeout for Alex Smith. Holding him off here. Good block by Fisher. And thrown in back of his receiver downfield, Chris Conley. At about the 25. And he was open.
Alex Smith couldn't set his feet, Kevin. That's one of the reasons he misses his throw. You watch him. He's going to step up into the pocket. Then he has to reset, shuffle, and slide to his left because of the pass rush. As he's sliding to his left, he's throwing across his body, and he can't make an accurate enough throw down in the middle of the field to Conley. Well, they look out of sorts offensively.
We had them opening day last year down in Houston. They looked terrific offensively. But here is the 4th consecutive punt for the Chiefs. Benjamin back inside the 10, and Cole Quick will send it skyward. Hill is there and fields it at the 22 with 8 seconds to play. 25-yard punt, but well placed. And you'll see Phillip Rivers finish off this first half, scoring the first 3 times they had it. And again, it's the first time they've done that in a decade where they've scored in the first 3 possessions of a game.
Well, they've got to feel really good about what they accomplished in the first half on offense. Kevin, not a lot of mistakes. Pretty clean half of football offensively. They've got their young running back going, playing with some confidence. Melvin Gordon's got 8 carries for almost 40 yards and a couple touchdowns. The offensive line has really played well in the first half for the Chargers.
No sacks allowed, no turnovers for San Diego's offense. Rivers with a touchdown pass and Gordon with 2 touchdown runs. And the Chiefs, who scored first on a field goal, trail it at halftime 21-3. Verizon halftime coming up next after this message and a word from your local station as you're watching the NFL on CBS. Halftime at Arrowhead on the opening weekend of the NFL season finds the San Diego Chargers on top of the Chiefs 21-3. Let's take a look at the first half highlight presented by DirecTV. It was Melvin Gordon, the first 2 touchdown runs, and then Rivers to Woodhead. With another touchdown reception for Woodhead, who led all running backs in the NFL in that category a year ago. With Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan, what a half by Phillip Rivers. What a half by the San Diego Chargers.
Kevin, they looked really sharp, good balance with the run and the pass. I thought Melvin Gordon really kind of set the tone for how they wanted to play offensively. He just looked terrific. He was physical, he was downhill, he was decisive, and that's really the difference. I mean, his ability to be comfortable in this offense and in the running game. It was an issue last year for a guy that didn't reach the end zone last year. It's a pretty good start for Melvin Gordon. The bad news, obviously, for San Diego, the injury to Keenan Allen. Just a unfortunate thing to happen to a guy that worked so hard coming back from the kidney injury last year, a right knee injury, and of course, we'll get an update probably later. Obviously, he won't return, but a disappointing injury. You look at the adjustments offensively for San Diego, I wouldn't change a thing. Just keep being aggressive, keep putting the pedal to the metal. Defensively, 2 sacks already, and more pressure on Alex Smith in the second half. Kansas City has to clean things up offensively, just 1 of 6 on third down. And finally, defensively, they need to wake up. They haven't even gotten a sniff of Phillip Rivers, and they've had no answer for Melvin Gordon in the running game.
Do you have any feeling coming in, Rich, this is the kind of game we'd see?
You know, Kevin, it just started out so well for San Diego, and I just think that they're a healthy football team, or they were a healthy football team to begin the day. Obviously, Keenan Allen injury, but their offensive line, to me, has been the real difference in this one.
This is Mager, who takes it inside the 5 for San Diego and stays on his feet. It looked like he was brought down by Steven Nelson. That's a 23-yard return, and he puts him out to about the 27-yard line and through the first and second quarter. These are some of the numbers from Arrowhead today.
Just 105 yards of offense for Kansas City, and again, the 1 of 6 on third down. That's a real problem right now. They've been in some big numbers. They haven't been able to crank up the running game early, but you look at San Diego, very clean first half of football. Not a lot of mistakes, and Phillip Rivers, when you give him time, it could make for a long afternoon for the Chiefs.
The stadium is half empty. That didn't give you a very good location shot right there, but there are many empty seats. As Woodhead gets it on 1st and 10, finds a big hole, looking for a block in the secondary. Brought down by Ron Parker. That is a run at 21 as he weaves his way to the San Diego 48.
Well, go ahead and run this. Look at this hole here for the back, right there. I mean, that is a monster hole for Danny Woodhead. The Chiefs are not doing a good enough job getting off of blocks.
You do have word on Allen, at least preliminarily. He was taken off, as you saw, on a cart. They say it is a knee. He will obviously not return, and we're looking to get more information on that, but it did not look good for Keenan Allen, unfortunately, for San Diego. Sidearm throw there, Inman, who's taken the place of Allen. And he slips by Peters, who can't make the tackle, and he is brought down by March Lillard out of Akron for the Chiefs in the linebacking core. And a quick gain of 7 down to the 46.
Marcus Peters is having a difficult time tackling today. Missed a number of tackles in the first half. Right here, he's got Inman in his grips, and he can't get him to the ground. Poor technique and fundamentals from the Pro Bowler.
2nd down and 4. And close to a first down. Well, we just saw Peters having a tough time making a tackle. He had a very tough first half. Before the game, he was seen from the stands in the national anthem with his fist raised, like John Carlos back in the '68 Olympics, as they were showing a sign of solidarity. The majority, the entire team had their arms locked, as Peters does there, but you can see the arm raised to bring awareness, positive impact in the community. The players talked about this. They want to have continued discussions with local law enforcement, wanting to make an impact, a positive impact. We're seeing this throughout the NFL today. 3rd down and 1. Gordon is in with the rookie fullback, Watt, who leads the way. And a little shift. Then he may have been stopped right there. Some nice perseverance coming through, and Nick Williams with Derek Johnson and March Lillard all had a hand in that one, and they bring him down. Williams looked like he was the first to get it, the 3rd-year lineman, and there's a quick huddle up now and a 4th and 1, huddling up at the line, and a timeout by the Chiefs.
That was an alert play by Phillip Rivers. The Chiefs were running off the field on 3rd down. Rivers decides to jump the ball, and the Chiefs can't get lined up. Good alert play by the veteran quarterback.
Where the praise the Chiefs were heaping on Rivers, you don't hear that very often But for him, I mean, he is really held in a very high esteem. Now, they see him twice a year. They know exactly what he can do, but it was amazing to hear their comments on Rivers.
Well, the one constant theme that we did hear all week when we visited with the Chiefs was, from the players and coaches across the board, Kevin, was the respect and admiration that they had for Phillip Rivers. They appreciate the fact that he's so competitive, and really, regardless of what's going on around him, he will never back down. That's what makes him so special.
Punt coming here from Drew Kaiser. Wind is minimal here in Arrowhead today. Beautiful day, about 76 degrees. Not a cloud in the sky. But we did have the Seals come out of the sky here at halftime in a very impressive halftime performance. Let's see if they take the penalty or what are they going to do? Clock at 0, and that's exactly what they try to do, we think, unless they'll decline and they'll have to punt from where they are.
One of the hardest things for young punters in this league is
the layup game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Tyreek Hill is back about the 5 for Kansas City.
One of the toughest things, Kevin, for a lot of these young, inexperienced punters are these pooch kicks or these directional kicks inside the 20, trying to give their young punter a little bit more space.
Cyphers was let go after 13 years, and Kaiser was brought in, drafted. The punt is away. Hill will make the catch. No one around him from the 13. Finds a seam. Blazing speed. Flag is thrown. Hit by Atachu. On a 20-yard return with a 35-yard punt. No one was around him.
It almost looked as if the Chargers felt he was going to fair catch it.
Illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 80. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Kansas City keeps the ball. 1st down, timeout.
Tight end James O'Shaughnessy is called right there. We step aside in Kansas City early in the 3rd. Rich, there's the first half resume for the Chiefs.
Not very pretty, Kevin, and the real problem, we talked about the issues on 3rd down, but how about this? Just 34 rushing yards from the Chiefs in the first half. Very out of character.
Ware is in with the 1st and 10. And they try the end around here, and there's not much room for Jeremy Macklin. And the tackle made by Brandon Flowers, and they lose, we think, a yard back at the 10. Flowers there.
I don't believe the Chiefs have to abandon their game plan at this point. But they have to be aggressive, and they have to come out with a different mindset here in the second half.
So keep the personality and just...
Yeah, they have time. They're down by 3 scores, but there's no time to panic. They just have to continue to do what they wanted to do coming into this game. I mean, they can still run the football. Alex has to make good decisions and get the ball out quicker and take some shots on the perimeter. They've not done a good enough job challenging this San Diego secondary.
Throwing into a nickel here on 2nd down 11. And he's got his tight end, the former basketball player at UW Milwaukee, Demetrius Harris, and he picks up 7 as he gets out to the Kansas City 17.
We talked in the open, Kevin, about this is a team that won't panic. They lost 5 straight games last year, and they showed great poise, and they were able to reel off 10 straight wins to finish 11-5. They've got a veteran quarterback. Andy Reid's not going to panic, but there has to be a sense of urgency. They have to do a better job on the early downs. They've been in too many 3rd and longs already in this game.
Denzel Perriman made that last tackle, 3rd and 4 here. Ware is in the backfield with the quarterback Smith. Here they come again, and down he goes. Mebane. They think the addition of Slauson on the offensive middle and Mebane in the middle of that defensive line, who just made the 3rd sack for San Diego's defense, will make a tremendous difference. It's shown already today, and the Chiefs punting unit is out there.
Well, this is why they spent the money in free agency. Brandon Mebane, he's going to work on the center. He beats Morris. The right tackle tries to come in, and you think about the impact a player like that can have. Brings productivity, leadership, and a championship mindset to this defense.
Dustin Colquitt with a slight breeze in his face and fields that low long snap. Travis Benjamin at the 46. Right out of bounds at the 45. West chases him out of bounds. 1-yard return. 39-yard punt. Brandon Mebane. There's a lot of Mebane to shake right there.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. We remember. State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. And by the Lincoln Motor Company and the exhilarating new Lincoln MKZ.
The Navy SEALs. That's a beautiful shot by our director, Mark Brent, and our producer, Kenny Mack, with the fireworks going off. That was at halftime. Magnificent. And a solemn day in our country. Second start inside Kansas City territory for the San Diego Chargers. It's a 1st and 10. Gordon is in. Oh, showing great patience with nice cutting ability down to the 36-yard line. And he was hit in the backfield by Nelson. It's a gain of 9.
Well, it's been a really productive day for both the Charger running backs. Melvin Gordon has looked sharp, scored a couple touchdowns already. Great patience. And then when you think you got your hands full with Gordon, they bring in Danny Woodhead, who's been just terrific out of the backfield. He's already rushed for over 50 yards.
2nd down and 1. Looks like he's carved out the first down right there. Gordon has. You know, there was a lot of comparison to Gordon last year when he was not completely healthy. And the #1 pick for the St. Louis, now the Los Angeles Rams, Todd Gurley, who was magnificent as a rookie, and Gordon really was not.
And you just got the sense, Kevin, when we visited with Melvin Gordon yesterday, that he felt like he had something to prove. He knows that he had a disappointing year last year, but he's worked so hard this offseason, and I just think Ken Wisenhunt has done a really nice job. He said the first thing that Wisenhunt told us, first thing he did, he sat down with Melvin Gordon and said, what runs do you like in this offense?
2 tight ends, moves up, Rivers does. 1st and 10 on the move. And Rivers flies to the far side. You don't see him run all that much. He's 34 years old. He's got a lot of miles on him. 13-year veteran, picks up 10 right there.
We talked about the importance of stepping up. You're going to see Tom Bahali at the top of your screen. You've got to be able to step up in the pocket. You don't see this very often, as you point out, Kevin. Phillip Rivers, I said to him, I was kidding him yesterday, you lost some weight? Show me some explosiveness there.
14th all-time in passing yards, #11 in touchdown passes. His 161st consecutive start today. 1st and 10. Woodhead is back there and gets the call. Then they continue to gash the middle of that Kansas City line. A lot of runs directed right between the guards, and he pushes a pile to the 16-yard line on a gain of 6 for Danny Woodhead.
This offensive line has really done a nice job. Kevin, we talked about Kansas City's defensive line a little bit. Dontari Poe and Alan Bailey and Jay Howard. They really form the nucleus of, I think, one of the most underrated defensive fronts in the league. But that trio right now not doing a good job getting off those blocks. Getting pushed back into the linebackers of Kansas City.
As you mentioned back in the first half, with the injured Keenan Allen out, Inman taking his place. He's out there now. 2nd down and 4. Fake to Woodhead. And time. And the throw. Benjamin with a nice tackle by Steven Nelson with a gain of 5. And he's down to about the 12. And that's enough for another San Diego 1st down. Benjamin with the catch.
Just look at the eyes of Phillip Rivers. He's going to start to his left, start to the middle, all the way back across the field. This is what you get with a veteran quarterback who understands the system. He knows where his quick answer throws are after he works through his progression.
And more under center than we've seen him in a lot of past games last year, Rich. He was always in shotgun. In fact, the most of any quarterback in the NFL a season ago.
He has to play more from under center because that's where they want to be with Melvin Gordon in the running game.
1st and 10. Here comes some pressure, and it was applied that time by D. Ford. That was a familiar number 55 in the face of Rivers at a game last year when Ford had 3 sacks.
And without Justin Houston, players like D. Ford need to step up a little bit. Great conversation with Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator, talked about the evolution of a pass rusher in this game. He said the most important component, they have to be tenacious. And that's what D. Ford's learning. You just can't run around the edge against these big, athletic offensive tackles.
2nd and 10, draw play. Woodhead, who on this drive has had a run of 6, and on the previous drive, a run of 21. And there's another D. Ford play. Pressured the quarterback last time. Wraps up Woodhead there and allows him only a gain of a yard just inside the Kansas City 11.
I think the game is slowing down for D Ford as you get a good look at Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs. He said to us on Friday that if we don't get around Phillip Rivers, we're going to be in trouble. And they've got to be able to change it up. There's a couple different ways to affect the quarterback. The pressure hasn't been good enough today on Rivers.
It's 3rd and 9, the longest third down that Rivers has faced today. Woodhead, bottom of your screen. Rivers, and great defensive play right there. They were going for receiver Tyrell Williams. Nice coverage, Ron Parker.
It's a terrific job by Parker right there at the end. He's trying to find and locate the ball, but he does just enough there at the end to get that left hand in there and knock it away.
So out now is Josh Lambo, a couple years out of Texas A&M. The punter's from Texas A&M. Lambo will try a 29-yard field goal. A season ago, 26 of 32. And the Chargers extend their lead 24-3. 6:02 in the third quarter from Kansas City. Rivers 18 of 24. Week 1 continues later today on Fox, then tonight with Sunday Night Football on NBC, and then tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football, a doubleheader on ESPN. I'll be in San Francisco with the Rams and Niners on Westwood One Radio. Rich, when your offense is struggling to find any kind of rhythm and pace, I mean, anything you did as a quarterback at this stage with the game certainly within reach, but boy, you're running out of time.
If I'm Alex Smith, I'm going to have the conversation with Andy Reid. Maybe we jump in our no-huddle or up-tempo 2-minute offense, and what it does is it changes the pace and it really dictates to John Pagano, the defensive coordinator for the Chargers, how he calls the game. Now he can't make as many substitutions. He can't dial up all the pressures. And when you're struggling a little bit to find your rhythm, Kevin, as you point out, you got to do something different. They're down by 3 touchdowns. They're starting to run out of time, especially when you consider how their defense is struggling against the Chargers offense.
Lambo kicks it out of the end zone. Chargers have lost 8 consecutive AFC West games in a row. Alex Smith coming up next for the Chiefs in 6:02 in the third.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx, helping small businesses simplify e-commerce. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Rich, you were just taking a look at some of the Kansas City statistics.
Yeah, they've done an outstanding job. The Chargers are really setting the edge and forcing Alex Smith to throw from the pocket. Just 1 rushing yard today from a quarterback that had almost 500 rushing yards a season ago.
Ware was in, 1st and 10, going deep, and he's got Ware. Oh, and he breaks a tackle of Lowry. Finally brought down by Teo. A catch and run of 45 yards. Longest play of the day for the Chiefs to the Charger 30-yard line.
He's just going to come out of the backfield and work right down the middle of the field. And for some reason, nobody accounts for the back. Way too much space and a missed tackle by Lowry. A big play by the Chiefs.
Ware remains 1st and 10. He gets it again. Missed tackle right there by Perriman. Finally taken down in the secondary by Kyle Emanuel, coming up from the linebacking core. But that's a gain of 9, and it's to the 21 of San Diego.
Well, you can just see the momentum change in this one a little bit. Perriman has been such a sure tackler for the Chargers going back to last season. Very athletic linebacker that can run sideline to sideline. Just a missed tackle there on the back Ware.
And Smith with a 2nd down and 1. And a run by West and a nice defensive play by Corey Legitz and a loss of 3 on the play. Back to the 25.
You see Legit, he's just going to school the right guard Anger. He just throws him out of the way and he's right back there in the backfield. Corey Legit really playing well up front in this one for the Chargers.
2 tight ends in for the Chiefs on this 3rd and 5. 5 defensive backs. West is in. He's got his tight end. He got turned around looking for Demetrius Harris. Coverage downfield by the rookie Brown and others as they got the linebacker matchup they wanted, but he could not connect.
No, they're going to go for it here. Yep. They have to go for it. You're down by 3 scores. Andy Reid's going to keep this offense on the field. Kevin, I just was looking at that play. You got Jeremy Maclin 101 on a go route. Got to take some shots down the field to the receiver, Maclin. He's your leading receiver from the season ago. He's been very quiet in this one. Just 2 catches for 12 yards.
On the first 2 plays of the game, Maclin was heard from.
You got a man-to-man right here. Give him a shot.
4th and 5. He was looking for him, and instead goes to Kelsey, who got the matchup he wanted with Hayward. He's inside the 15. He's down to the San Diego 12. 13-yard pickup and a first down.
Well, this is a challenge for any safety or corner covering the tight end Travis Kelsey. He's so tall and he's got those long arms. He does a great job creating separation and catching the ball away from his body.
Now the inverted wishbone with the 1st and 10. First time we've seen this particular alignment today. He's going to go to Wilson, who is lining up in the backfield, and then knocked out of bounds by Jaleel Adad. With a catch and run of 3 on the play for Albert Wilson out of Georgia State.
It's time to pull out all the tricks.
Yeah.
No sense saving it for next week. They need to do something to get back in this game.
Rich, you always talk about reading the body language sometimes of your receivers and your running backs, your tight ends. What does that mean for a quarterback to do that?
Well, it's just the confidence and trust that they're going to do the right thing in a critical situation. They're going to get to the right depth, and it took a while last year. You know, he had the trust with Jeremy Maclin, but some of the younger receivers, it took a while for Alex to really get the trust and the confidence for them to do the right thing.
In 2nd and 7, he's got Hill, and he's going to go in for the touchdown. He liked the body language there. The rookie, Tyreek Hill, 9-yard touchdown reception. Good read by Smith. Good run by Hill.
Well, they're really excited about Tyreek Hill. He has rare and unusual speed. You're going to see all these linemen get out in front, the slip screen, and Hill knows he's got a clean wall of blockers to the end zone.
Perriman missed another tackle. Now it was quick, and that would be a pretty quick twitch, but nonetheless, he got by. It was a 7-play, 75-yard drive. The catch and run by Ware of 45 yards, huge. Pass to Kelsey for 13, sets it up. 9 yards to Hill. Extra point by Santos, and a new game in Kansas City. 2:47 in the 3rd. It's the first touchdown for the Chiefs in this new season. And a new player, the rookie out of West Alabama, Tyreek Hill. Rich, there's no denying this Kansas City offense revolves solely on Alex Smith.
Yeah, he's been given more and more control at the line of scrimmage in this offense because of his experience and his production. And I think the ability to change plays and protections and those type of things have really helped him. Not only the running game, but the passing game as well. He's a very good decision maker, Kevin. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
He did tell us something kind of interesting on Friday. He talked about watching Rivers, a lot of tape of Rivers. He said, I love Rivers' pocket presence and the way he handles his pocket.
Because they're very different. Phillip Rivers isn't going to leave the pocket. He's going to sit in there with a tough jaw and make the difficult throw, whereas Alex Smith is more apt to pull it down and run around and try and extend plays with his legs.
Santos the booted, and Craig Mager is deep for San Diego. He'll leave it in the end zone to the 25. It'll go. Next Saturday, it's the best game from the best conference with the SEC on CBS as #1 Alabama will take on Ole Miss. It all begins with college football today, 3 Eastern, right here on CBS Sports.
Look at that, 24 dropbacks. He hasn't been sacked. You know, the hurries, the hits, the knockdowns, just as important, but they've done a terrific job creating a pocket around Phillip Rivers.
Keenan Allen has been knocked out of this game. Looked like a pretty serious knee injury. No word yet on the severity of it, but he was carted off the field. Gates has been quiet lately. Wood into the backfield from the 25, 1st and 10. Lot of congestion. Travis Benjamin hit by the third-year pick out of Oregon State last year, Steven Nelson. It is a gain of 5.
Well, we talked about the importance of Phillip Rivers having to step up today against a defense that does a terrific job with speed off the edge, and he has repped it all week in practice, and he's done a nice job in this game of stepping up, keeping his eyes downfield, keeping the ball in a throwing position, and making some big plays out of rhythm.
Got a new offensive coordinator, a new line coach, new tight ends coach he's dealing with. 2nd down and 5. Woodhead in, 5 in the secondary. Danny Woodhead. And he slithers his way for another handful of yards. About 5. D Ford finally jumps on him out near the 35. You know, looking at Rivers, and you were watching a ton of tape this week, you say he makes so many good throws from the worst angles.
Yeah, he can throw from all the different body angles, and you look at Ken Wisenhunt right there, Kevin, and he's done a great job tying together the running game to the passing game. A little bit out of whack a season ago, but Wiz has history with Rivers and some of these other players, and does a nice job seeing the game through the eyes of the quarterback.
It is a 1st down, and Gordon is in. And again, Gordon really prefers, with a couple tight ends in there, Rivers under center.
Well, there's 4 of them today, Kevin, where they either can't get lined up or there's some confusion at the line of scrimmage. You just don't see that with a veteran quarterback like Phillip Rivers.
Well, take us inside that. What are some of the reasons why that could happen?
Well, you got a new play caller for the first time. You know, Ken Wisenhunt's been back. Maybe the play is coming in a little bit late, or maybe there's some confusion. The other thing to keep in mind is Keenan Allen isn't in the lineup right now. So you've got a younger receiver, whether it's Inman or Williams playing, maybe they're not getting lined up correctly. It could also be something that he's seeing late from the Chiefs on defense. But those timeouts can come back to haunt you. At some point, Rivers has to be able to change the play or get him into a better play and not keep burning timeouts. It's 4 timeouts that they've used, 3 in the first half, 1 already here in the second half, where they couldn't get lined up properly.
Well, the Chiefs have 4 straight wins over San Diego. They outscored them last year 43-6, but that score tells you all you need to know about how things are different now with a healthy San Diego team. Each team with 2 timeouts, 1st and 10. Woodhead there at the bottom of your screen. And they're going down the far sideline for Williams. They had a couple of Chiefs chasing him down across the way, including Nelson. They had Peters down there too, or Berry rather, from the secondary. 2nd down and 10.
From the 35-yard line.
Wisenhunt has done a nice job changing personnel groups. We've seen it consistently throughout this game. Different backs coming onto the field, multiple tight end usage, different receivers, different formations, different alignments. They've done a nice job keeping Kansas City off balance defensively.
2nd and 10. Gordon is in. And he's going outside looking for Benjamin. There's Nelson. Boy, he played him well that time and was right on it. Peters helping him out. Travis Benjamin, who's got incredible speed, picks up 8 right there, and he's out to the 43-yard line.
You know, so often you look at Travis Benjamin, the ball is out of the hands of the quarterback by the time the receiver even gets to the top of his route. That's what makes Rivers so special, his anticipation and timing in the passing game.
How about, this is the 5th time it's been 3rd and 2 or less. That has really helped San Diego.
Because they've been so good, Kevin, on the early downs, and they haven't had a lot of negative plays.
3rd and 2. Play clock at 6. Looking bunched up. They're picked up, though. Rivers with time, and he's got the matchup he wants. Williams again, the catch and run, and pushed out of bounds by Gaines. He had a 33-yard catch and run early in the game. He catches and runs there for 38. He has been terrific. Tyrell Williams out of Western Oregon.
Well, you see the bunch set, and they don't do a good enough job passing it off. And Tyrell Williams is wide open on the crossing route.
And everybody was bunched up, Rich, on that line.
Makes it very difficult for Kansas City to press at the line of scrimmage out of that bunch set.
He is a quarterback in full today. Phillip Rivers. That's the end of the third. Let's go to the fourth. You're watching the NFL on CBS. There's our scoring, as you see. You know, the Chiefs have not gotten to Rivers all day. No sacks on him, and that was a concern coming into the season about the Kansas City defensive pass rush.
Yeah, and, you know, you really miss players like Justin Houston. Now San Diego can focus a lot of their attention on slowing down the other outstanding pass rusher of the Chiefs, and that's Tom Bahali, who's been very quiet in this one.
1st and 10, starting the fourth. 38-yard catch and run by Williams moments ago for San Diego. Rivers. And he's going for an open Benjamin, and there was a flag thrown on that route. Berry was in the vicinity, and Nelson. That's a tough guy to watch, Travis Benjamin.
They're going to get Berry for a hold.
Defense, number 29.
Yep.
5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
You're going to see a little double move, a little stop, and then Berry knows he's beat, so he does the next best thing. He tries to get a piece of Travis Benjamin. It's just enough. Actually, a good alert play there by the veteran safety.
Talking to Rivers yesterday, Rich, about the Kansas City defense, he said there really isn't a lot different from what we've seen the last couple of years with Bob Sutton calling the defensive plays.
Well, these two teams know each other so well. So I don't think there was really any secrets going in. It's really what it's going to boil down to is who would have the better execution. And so far, clearly, it's been San Diego.
That's Gordon on 1st and 10. He was hit on the play by Derek Johnson, the Chiefs' all-time leading tackler, and a gain of 2 right there.
And good red zone teams have the ability to run the ball in this part of the field. And it was a problem last year for San Diego. Not so much today. They've done a nice job running the ball with Melvin Gordon. But good red zone teams finish in this part of the field, but they're able to do it by running inside the tackles.
Just got word that Sam Barrington, who was signed off the street after Green Bay cut him, is out with a hamstring. Coming back after last year's ankle surgery. 2nd down and 8. Good head in. Nice read. Oh, then he was stuck. Looked like Eric Berry was right there. Zombo was in there too. That's your comeback player of the year in another Pro Bowl season for Berry. Gain of 2. Down to the 10.
Well, Eric Berry missed a lot of time in the offseason. In fact, he missed all training camp trying to negotiate a new contract. Reported to camp on August 28th after signing that franchise tender. And told us to use his iPad to watch all the practices and installs during the holdout.
NFL 2016, 3rd and 6 right here. Chiefs have 5 defensive backs. Rivers, time, looking for Woodhead, well over his head. And incomplete. So now it's 4th. The field goal unit will come out. And, Rich, this could be a 3-score game.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas City, Kevin, just running out of opportunities. Defensively, they've not really been able to do anything to disrupt the timing and the rhythm in the passing game. It's amazing to me that Phillip Rivers hasn't been sacked at all today, or really even pressured very much by this Kansas City defense.
Lambeau moments ago kicked a 29-yard field goal. This is from 28 to extend the lead, and he does perfect. 27-10. They have scored on all 5 red zone possessions today. Your weekend starts right here Thursday. The Jets have a run-in with the Bills and their former coach, Rex Ryan. Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. You saw the 2nd consecutive field goal by San Diego from 28 and 29. They've hit him in the second half after scoring the first 3 times they've had the ball. It's been almost a seamless transition with Mike McCoy bringing in his a guy that he had earlier on his staff in San Diego, Ken Wisenhunt, who was let go by Tennessee, rehired by the Chargers, and it's been a seamless transition.
Yeah, I think he's got to be really pleased with what he's seen really in all 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, the kicking game. An impressive performance so far from the Chargers.
Lambeau kicks off, and Niall Davis is back, and this is out of the end zone and out to the 25. What do you think of that, Rich, that new 25 position on a touchback and a kickoff?
You know, I'm a little surprised to see teams just banging the ball away. And, you know, you look at the rule change, and I thought that teams wouldn't just concede and give up the extra 5 yards, especially when you consider that it's basically 1% for every yard you give up past the 20-yard line for touchdown scores. So essentially it's a 5% difference from the 20 to the 25-yard line, and that's significant. Now, a lot of coaches have talked about a game-to-game situation. You know, the Chargers brought in Travis Benjamin, and, you know, you're careful kicking him the ball. So I think it's going to really depend upon who's back there returning kicks.
We're in 1st and 10. 15 to 22, Smith. And he throws one in there right to Conley. With the catch made at the 36-yard line. Flowers was there. 12-yard pickup and a first down. Chiefs have lost 2 consecutive home openers and 4 of 5. Lost to Tennessee here a couple years ago in the last home opener. Gain of 12, 1st and 10. They're in the backfield again, a quick slant. This is dropped. Oh, is it picked off? It was. Picked off by Verrett. And look at the Pro Bowlers zigzag his way. What a pick down to the Kansas City 33 in the first turnover by the Chiefs today.
Really great coverage by the Pro Bowl corner. Looked like Macklin had it for a second, and then somehow Jason Verrett was able to just rip it right out of his hands.
That's amazing.
It's like it bounced off the chest of Jeremy Macklin.
Now remember, last year when Alex Smith had 312 consecutive passes without an interception, it was Verrett who stopped that streak and made the pick. And they're
going to take a look at that one, Kevin, because as he was coming down.
You think it hit the ground there?
Well, it looked like he trapped it a little bit. With his left arm.
Andy has got his hand on the flag. Oh, it's a turnover. Yeah, exactly. What am I talking about? He doesn't need to throw a challenge because it's a turnover and they're all reviewed.
The question is, does he have possession at that point? Because
the previous play is under review.
I think he had a good firm grasp of it with his left hand, and the ball never really moved when he hit the ground.
Looked like it was steady. Much like the Chargers today.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the next-gen network. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
They're reviewing a turnover on a throw by quarterback Alex Smith of Kansas City and a possible interception or takeaway by Verrett. Jerome Boger has talked with New York. He's looked at the film himself.
After reviewing the play, we have confirmed it as an interception, and the ball is down by contact at the 44-yard line. First down, San Diego.
Rich, tell him why.
Well, it's amazing that he's able to control the football, but he's got big, strong hands. I mean, he has the ball in his left hand as it comes to the ground. Watch, the ball never really moves. Now, it can hit the ground, but if the ball moves, now all of a sudden you question whether or not it's a catch. But clearly, Jason Verrett had control of the football.
Yeah, a bit of a calf issue coming in. This is the third time that San Diego has started a drive in Kansas City territory. They only had 13 of those kind of situations last year, worst in the league. They've had 3, Rich, today.
Yeah, and boy, I tell you, it's amazing. This defense has been outstanding. Jason Verrett is as sure a lockdown cover corner as there is in the game right now.
Gordon in, gets the call, 1st and 10. And a couple guys down there, including Derek Johnson, with a gain of 2, and he pushes the pile, Rich, down near the 42.
Look at the plays in the opponent's territory. I mean, this game's been played in Kansas City's territory. And now if you're Phillip Rivers in this Kansas City offense, I'm talking to the offensive line, and I'm saying, hey, guys, we're going to lean on them in the running game. We've got 2 really talented backs. Let's beat them up in the running game. Let's get out of here and get back on that plane with the win.
Tango, tango, tango. 390.
Draw play handoff on second, and it goes to Woodhead. And they jump on. There's Derek Johnson once again. March Lillard getting in there, making a nice play. March Lillard was the surprise of camp last year, then had some knee issues and missed it. So he's really playing for the first time in his career today. First NFL game coming up on the Subway postgame show. Join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cowell for the latest NFL scores and highlights. All coming up in the Subway postgame show from our CBS studios in New York. 3rd and 2 here, Rich, for San Diego.
I run it again. Woodhead's been good. Keep giving him the football.
Looking for a new beginning, these Chargers, after their worst season in 12 years a year ago. 12 and 4, rather 4 and 12. And there's a deflected pass. They're going down the middle. It's incomplete, a short pass, and Rivers is mad at himself. Looked like Zombo may have gotten away.
Stops the clock as well. Frank Zombo. Alert play there to get that left hand up and knock it away. As soon as I saw the ball get batted, the first thing you think of is interception. Be careful in that situation.
So Lambeau is in his second year out of Texas A&M. He was the top rookie kicker a season ago in the NFL. His long is 54 in his career, very short. This will be a 54-yard try. He's kicked 2 field goals in a row. And from 54, this is no good. Wide right. Chiefs defense holds. Remains 27-10 with 11:20 to go. So they can't cash in on the interception. The 54-yard field goal is wide right. Tuesday this fall, NCIS's Michael Weatherly returns to CBS in the new legal drama Bowl. Premieres Tuesday, September 20th, only CBS. That's no bowl. I mean, that's a bowl, but that's no bowl. Best starting field position for the Chiefs today at their own 44, 1st and 10. They got a lot of ground to make up and not much time to do it. They go to Conley. Seabrook at Georgia, hit by Lowry, brought down. Lowry's been a starter the last couple years for Atlanta and Indy. He's in that secondary for John Pagano, gaining 9 right there.
Maybe got to jump the ball, and get in their 2-minute offense, and get as many plays dialed up.
2nd down 1. West was in and bobbled and reeled in by Wilson. Then he was drilled. Teo, loss of a yard.
Good look at John Pagano. He told us on Friday they've got to stop the run. That includes keeping tabs on Alex Smith. They've been outstanding today. Just 29 rushing yards from the Chiefs, less than 3 yards a carry. And Alex Smith, just 1 rushing yard. They've done a terrific job with their run defense.
3rd and 2 for the Chiefs. Knock away, and a beautiful one at that by Casey Hayward. That was a big play. A 3rd and 2, and Hayward with a nice knock away.
Kevin, I mentioned some additions to their roster from a year ago, and Casey Hayward is one of them. You and I are very familiar with him, having watched him grow and develop as a really outstanding player for the Packers over the years. But Brandon Mebane has been a difference maker up front. When you look at Casey Hayward, his ability to play inside and outside, the nickel and the dime, has really helped this San Diego defense.
4th and 2. West is in, gets the call, gets the first down, breaks the tackle on the play by Teo. And that's a gain at 7. Manti Teo had a chance to get him, and Teo could not bring him down. It's a gain of 7 and a first down, a much-needed one for Kansas City.
Well, it took a perfect throw and catch here to get it done. Teo actually was in pretty decent position, but perfect throw by Alex Smith gets it done.
Ware is in, 1st and 10. And there's Spencer Ware. Here comes Teo. Gets him inside the 30, about the 29, but not before he picks up 12. Now some rhythm for the Chiefs in their offense.
Well, they're really trying to go after these linebackers, the inside linebackers of San Diego, with the back out of the backfield in the passing game.
1st down. Ware remains. And he throws it dunk right here. That's a catch at the 20-yard line. It's grabbed by Macklin.
Well, he has been quiet, Kevin.
11-yard gain.
Just his 3rd catch of the day. He had 2 catches early in the game, but did a nice job keeping tabs on the Chiefs' top target.
First catch since the 2nd play of the game. Another first down. Here they go, and he gets in for the touchdown. Jeremy Maclin, who set a Chiefs receiving record a year ago. 19-yard strike for number 19. And they worked on Verrett.
Got to give the receiver a chance to make a play. Even if he's covered, this is pretty good coverage, but a back shoulder throw, the most difficult pass to cover as a corner. Verrett never sees the ball leave the hands of Alex Smith.
He is a three-position receiver and play all over the field. Smith throws his second touchdown pass today.
Now all of a sudden things are going to get a little bit interesting here.
Are. So how about deciding not to punt on fourth down for the Chiefs? The field goal before that on the miss by San Diego. And 10 points right here should he make the extra point. Carlos Santos.
It's going to be on Kansas City.
False start. Offense, number 61. 5-yard penalty. Still on the try.
The center, Mitch Morris.
Was actually lined up outside, obviously, as you know, Kevin, because Chiefs have their long snapper
Winchester,
there.
yep.
Good look at Mitch Morris. He stays in the game and moves outside. He plays the tight end position.
Center last year, center this year. 2 years out of Missouri. Morris now a 7-play, 56-yard drive. At the extra point, Richards White, a 38-yard field goal. He gets it. Tack on one more. 10-point game. 9:18 to go. The screws tighten at Arrowhead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new Chrysler Pacifica, imported from Detroit, and by Subway Restaurants.
Alex Smith just threw his second touchdown pass. He has been picked off once today. 22 of 31 through the air for the Kansas City quarterback. And time left. 2 timeouts apiece. 9:18 left in the fourth. We just saw some scenes of stadiums over the years. Remembering 9/11. Here's the kickoff by Santos. Craig Mager. Oh, what a big-time stick. Boy, was he hit hard that time. Big hit. Demetrius Harris got him. 19-yard return. Week 1 continues later today on Fox. Then tonight with Sunday Night Football on NBC. And then tune in tomorrow from Monday Night Football doubleheader on ESPN. Put me inside that huddle now with Phillip Rivers.
I don't think it's any time to get conservative, Kevin, for the Chargers. I think they've got to continue to be aggressive, mix to the run and the pass. You know, when you get conservative, everybody in the huddle feels and everybody plays not to make a mistake, and that's not what got them in this position in the first place. It's a reason why they scored 27 against a very good defense. Continue to be aggressive and trust your veteran quarterback.
Chiefs in the nickel, 1st and 10. Rivers. And caught right there by Henry. Hunter Henry, who is a rookie from Arkansas. 20-yard catch and run for the tight end, the Mackey Award winner, and a first down to the 37.
This has got to be frustrating. You look at this is really good coverage, but you talk about a veteran quarterback with pinpoint accuracy. He knows how to get the rookie tight end into the transition of the run.
Hunter's a good blocker, and he's had a good camp.
He's learning from a master, Antonio Gates, in his 14th season. That's a real luxury for a young tight end.
Well said, 1st and 10. Woodhead finished by Ali, and then he dives into the middle and takes it out to about the 41 and picks up 4. They've lost Keenan Allen today. There are reports, but these are unconfirmed by the Chargers, that Allen has an ACL. If you have not heard anything, it probably won't during the course of this broadcast.
A lot of times, Kevin, you have to wait till you get back to San Diego, have the MRI done, have the orthopedic surgeon look at it. It certainly did not look good for Keenan Allen.
Those are just reports, and CBS is not confirming that. 2nd down and 6. Woodhead, by the way, 13 carries and 78 yards. Here he goes again with number 18. Diving down low, and then he was gobbled up by Poe on a gain of 2 to the 43. And Keenan Allen really put his fingerprints on this game early.
Yeah, he got off to a terrific start, making big plays. Really worked over Marcus Peters, catching the slant routes. And then right here, unfortunately, coming out of the break, that acceleration, deceleration injury where we see a lot of ACL tears. And you feel so bad for Keenan Allen, who missed half of the season a year ago with a kidney injury.
No one played dime more than the Chiefs last year. They're in dime right now, 3rd and 3.
In a critical situation against Bob Sutton, you think pressure.
Look at all the people on that line. Holly comes from the edge. Rivers throws, incomplete. Peters got a hand on it. It's an incomplete pass. They were aiming for Dontrell Inman. It's 4th down.
Boy, this was close.
Really close. He had 8 of those last year.
Boy, Marcus Peters was in great position to make that interception.
8 last year, tied for number 1 in the NFL. Pro Football Focus had him highly rated right across the board. He struggled in the first half, settled down here in the second. Kaiser will be punting for San Diego. Hill is deep back for the Chiefs. Bit of a breeze. Not much hang time, and on a bounce, Hill fields it cleanly at the 10.
He's going to be an exciting returner for the Chiefs this season.
He's got that twitch, doesn't he? Huh?
He's very aggressive, and I like that from a punt returner. He has got incredible speed.
46-yard punt with a 13-yard return. He had a 20-yard return earlier. And now we take a look at what Kansas City has done the last 3 times they've had it. And Alex Smith has certainly been in situations, Rich, like this before.
And they found a rhythm, and they've been more aggressive in the passing game. They're pushing the ball downfield. They're getting Jeremy Maclin involved again, and they're taking some chances, and you have to do that when you're behind.
Smith, who played his high school football in the San Diego area, has a 1st and 10. Grew up rooting for the Chargers. Right in the middle, he finds Conley out to about the 32-yard line, and Teo brings him down. 9-yard pickup.
When you jump the ball like this, we talked about it earlier, Kevin, it makes it very difficult for John Pagano to make the substitutions. And that defensive line, they get tired. And it also makes it difficult for them to dial up all those pressures and blitzes against Alex Smith.
2nd and 1. Oh, he's got his receiver here. Knocked down. Another great play by Casey Hayward. Well timed, going for Albert Wilson.
To be a good defense, you need good pass rushers and a number of cover corners. And I think the Chargers have that now with the addition of Casey Hayward. They know what they have with Jason Verrett. You think that Brandon Flowers is going to have a comeback year after a disappointing year a season ago, but now John Pagano feels like he has some players that can lock down and play man-to-man in the secondary.
Jesus struggled on 3rd down today. 1 of 9, 3rd and 1. Ware has the first. Teo missing the tackle. Oh, and he's dragging along McCoyle. 1st down run right there. 14-yard pickup to the 46 of the Chiefs.
Boy, that got the crowd fired up. Talk about the power that Spencer Ware gives you at the halfback position. Very different than what they have with Jamal Charles.
Ware, who had been on the practice squad last year, back in there with a 1st and 10. And they go to him again, right through his hands. Out there, they had Hayward covering 2nd and 10.
Incompletion there on 1st down doesn't hurt you. It stops the clock. And they need to find ways to stop the clock here.
Andy calls the plays for Kansas City.
He does. And he also has 2 co-coordinators on his staff. Brad Childress, who's upstairs, Matt Nagy, who's on the sidelines, and the plays actually go to Matt Nagy, who calls them in to Alex Smith. A different way of doing it in Kansas City.
2nd down and 10. West is in. Smith does this so well. On the move. And he got under the oncoming Flowers, and he's out of bounds about the 47. Scrambles for 7. That's his best scramble of the day.
You cannot take your eyes off of Alex Smith when you're rushing the passer, because he'll pull it down and he's going to really hurt you with his legs. He is a strong runner. You see him use that left arm, that stiff arm. He knows how to protect himself when he gets on the sidelines.
West is in, and 5 in the secondary. 6 in the secondary for San Diego.
Second charge, timeout, San Diego. This is a 30-second timeout.
So they got 1 left. We were talking about Andy Reid a second ago. Why would it go from him to a middleman and then to the quarterback? Why not just go from Reid?
Especially when he's on the sidelines. Yeah. And there's a couple of reasons for that. I think part of it sometimes as Andy's working on the substitutions and who's coming on and off the field, they work together, and so sometimes he's able to tell the co-coordinator a couple things to remind Alex. I personally, Kevin, as a quarterback, I want it directly from the mouth of the play caller, because that gives me a little bit more time. If I have to call the play over to Matt Nagy and then he has to call it in, we're wasting 4 or 5 seconds. That's valuable time for a veteran quarterback like Alex Smith to give tips and reminders in the huddle and also at the line of scrimmage.
Gruden did that with you, didn't he?
Yeah, and it really helped. We were able to play and really dictate the pace and the flow of the game and play with a little bit more up-tempo style.
3rd and 3, and they got Wilson as they work on Lowry. Nice catch, good throw. Gain of 6 on the play. Make it Ware, Ware is the one to catch that one. On a gain of 6, he's down to the 41-yard line of San Diego.
Good, strong catch by the running back out of the backfield.
He's been good on this drive. Had a 14-yard run moments ago on the drop. 1st and 10. Fisher the block at the left tackle. Ware once again found that soft spot. Takes it down to the 32-yard line. Teo is there. Gain of 9.
San Diego had to know that this team wasn't going to roll up and crawl into a corner. This is a team that lost 5 straight games last year and battled back to win 10 straight games to finish 11-5. This is a team that's a veteran team with great leadership and poise in these situations.
2nd down and 1. West is in. And that's in the middle. Caught by the tight end Harris. Look at him drag defenders inside the 20. Demetrius Harris picks up 13 to the 19.
Well, the protection's gotten better. Alex Smith has more time, and he's doing a great job getting the ball out quickly to the perimeter.
And rhythm, Rich. They got rhythm now. 1st and 10. Coming from the side, Itachi was chasing him. And he throws it away wisely. A lot of pressure also over there. They had Phylon.
Again, throwing the ball away on 1st down, not a bad thing when you're up against the clock. Just can't afford a sack in this situation.
It's a very nuanced offense, too, isn't it? He's been now in it. This is his 4th year with Reid in this Kansas City offense, talking about Smith.
There's history there, so I think Alex knows he can anticipate what the play call may be. I think clearly Andy Reid has a much better feel for his signal caller. 2-score game. They don't have to get a touchdown here. They can kick the field goal.
West is in 2nd and 10. They bring the blitz. West with a good block. Buys Smith time. And looking for Conley with the coverage on the play by Dexter McCoyle. 3rd and 10 coming up.
It was a really nice block by Charkandrick West. Just keep an eye on the back. Watch this. Talk about cleaning up the safety blitz. Woo! It'll make you think twice, come screaming up that A-gap. Better have your head on a swivel. Really nice play by West. Where's Macklin? We got to find Jeremy Macklin. That's who I'm looking for.
11th play of the drive. 3rd and 10 for Alex Smith. Inside, West gets 4. He gets down to the 15-yard line. He is brought down by Jaleel Adai. And here comes the field goal unit with the clock ticking and 3.5 to go.
They may have had a decision, Kevin, if they got close, if they had a 4th and short, a 4th and 1. But in this situation, I think it's the right call. Got to take the points, make it a 1-score game.
33-yard try. He kicked a 47-yard field goal to begin the game. and this to come to within a touchdown. And he gets it from 33. The Chiefs have scored on 3 of their last 4 possessions. Couple touchdown passes, one to Macklin, one to Hill, and a 33-yard field goal right there by Cairo Santos.
Jeremy Macklin is coming off the ball. He's jogging half the time. I'm watching him.
Really?
Yeah. He knows he's not getting the ball. He just comes off the field jogging.
And why isn't he getting it? Is it coverage?
Well, I think
or
he knew the route. You know, he knew it was meant to go to the back or something, but still.
You got to sell it, right?
Yeah.
Well, the big play on that drive was Ware on a 14-yard run, also had a 9-yard reception. Harris had a 13-yard catch, the tight end. Conley had a 9-yard catch. Alex ran one for 7 yards. And that was all part of that drive, which gets the Chiefs 33-yard field goal. Coming up on the Subway postgame show, JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cowher with scores, highlights, and all the news from Week 1 in the NFL. All coming up on the Subway postgame show.
So you look at this situation, Kevin, with 3:09 left. Kansas City has 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. You kick the ball deep here, you play defense. Field position is important for Kansas City.
Magers in the end zone for San Diego, as he has been all afternoon long. Cairo Santos has kicked a couple field goals for the Chiefs, a 47 and 33. He'll boot it from the 35. And he'll leave it there as he hits the chalk out to the 25, and Rivers will begin there. He's got 1 timeout remaining, 2 for the Chiefs. And you look at the second half San Diego possession.
So yeah, not as impressive as the first half, and you got to give Kansas City's defense some credit as well, Kevin. They stepped up and played a lot better. Look at some of those drives. A couple field goals early, but they have been quiet. They need to put together a good drive here, chew up some clock, and finish the Chiefs off.
The veteran Antonio Gates has not been targeted in the second half, and he's not in there right now. They've got McGrath, who played for the Chiefs a couple years ago, and Hunter Henry. The kids are in. 1st and 10. Gordon the back. Good stick. Calling up Philip Gaines. He had that ACL left knee last September. That's a gain of 2, and Barry comes in with a nice play.
And this is 8-man front football. That safety's going to be down the box. They know San Diego's going to try and run the football here. You know, San Diego had a problem last year. Kevin, you talk about all those close losses. They blew 5 fourth-quarter leads last year, tied for most in the league. They didn't do a good enough job finishing when they had a lead.
6 defensive backs for the Chiefs. 2nd down and 8. Woodhead with Rivers. Fake to Woodhead, outside to Benjamin. Harley can't bring him down, but then they come out with all kinds of pressure, including Jay Howard. They lose 2 on the play.
Good use of the timeout now. You still have 1 left. San Diego's got a decision to make on 3rd down. Andy Reid's got a chance to get the ball back with good field position and plenty of time left on the clock.
The Chiefs had a valuable timeout. They had to burn that one time, Rich, because Rivers got to the line so quick earlier in the second half, and they had to use one right there. So now 1 apiece for the Chargers and Chiefs in the timeout category in a 7-point game with 2:20 to go.
You mentioned tightening things up, and that's just what Kansas City has done here late in this one, Kevin. They have some momentum. A big 3rd down for Philip Rivers and the Chargers.
Gates has just come in. Woodhead next to Rivers. Longest 3rd down they have faced today. 3rd and 10. 6 in the secondary.
And at crunch time, you got to look for Gates or Woodhead.
They need the 35.
There's Gates, there's Woodhead. That's where the ball goes in a critical situation.
Rivers, Benjamin, he broke 1 tackle, then ran into his own blocker. He was slowed down on the play by Gaines in the secondary. No gain on the play. And the punting unit will come out there for San Diego.
A very safe and conservative call on 3rd down.
Rivers 24-34, 2:31 with a touchdown. The 2-minute warning at Arrowhead in Kansas City. They drafted Drew Kaiser in the 6th round out of Texas A&M. He is a rookie. They let Mike Cyphers go after 13 years, and his day has not been memorable.
No, just 37-yard average, Kevin, on 3 punts. He has struggled a little bit. You can see the Chiefs. They've moved Tyreek Hill up a little bit to field this one.
Kaiser.
Another bad one.
It wasn't high, it wasn't long, and it takes a Kansas City bounce, and it goes into San Diego territory. How about that? A timeout left for the Chiefs. The rookie punter has struggled today for the Chargers, and Kansas City will begin at the 43-yard line. And the Chargers on that last possession ran only 1:20 off the clock.
Was that a 20-yard punt?
17.
17-yard punt.
if my math is right. The numbers first half to the second for Smith.
Remember last year, special teams was a huge story and a problem for the Chargers. This is great field position for the Chiefs. They've got plenty of time. And a timeout left as well.
West in the backfield. 6 defensive backs. Smith.
Can't take a sack. Got
Out
to
of the way. Here's West. Got a beat on him. Brought down right there by Melvin Ingram. And they have yet to put down the ball. 3-yard gain to the 39. Clock continues to go, and the Chiefs with a timeout. 2nd and 7.
Rather than throw it to the back there, you're better off throwing it away. We talked about incompletion on first down doesn't hurt you.
Smith again moving up. Legion hits him. He dumps it off to West. Chased out of bounds by Teo. A catch and run of 8. He's to the 32. And a first down.
And Manti Teo has really struggled, especially here in the second half, covering Ware and West out of the backfield. That is a mismatch right now for Alex Smith and the Chiefs. They've had great success working the backs up inside against Manti Teo.
Ware has 6 catches. West has 6 catches out of the backfield today. 1st and 10. Chiefs at one time trailed 24-3. Ware is into the dime. Ware with a block. Time for Smith. Oh, and he's caught Macklin at the 10. Flag. 23-yard pickup. Flowers was down there defending along with the dive. And Macklin is down.
Just a 3-man rush. Alex Smith has plenty of time. He's able to fit this one into a really tight window between the corner and the safeties.
Lowry got a beat out too.
Roughing the passer. Personal foul, defense, unnecessary roughness. Helmet contact on the defensive player. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down. There's no extra timeout charge for Kansas City.
Jeremy Macklin caught the first 2 passes of the game. He's caught 3 in the second half in this 4th quarter. None bigger than that right there, aside from the touchdown that he grabbed from 19 yards away from Smith. Huge gain to the 5 with the penalty in tow, 1st and goal.
But Mike McCoy has to be sick to his stomach. This team came in and played so well.
Ware is in with a 1st and goal for Smith. It's Ware. Morris with a block. And touchdown! Spencer Ware.
Great movement at the point of attack. You see Morris and the right guard. They get great push on the nose tackle. Tough to tell whether Spencer Ware gets in there. Gets lost in the pile.
They are reviewing it as they do every scoring play. And turnover.
Good physical run nonetheless by Spencer Ware. Watch him lower the shoulder. Keep those legs churning and keep falling forward at the end of this run.
Look at Morris leading the way and Perriman trying to stop it.
There's Mitch Morris. He's clearly in the end zone, the center.
Alex Smith, by the way, with a career-high 30 completions. He's 30 of 43 for 321 with the pick and 2 touchdowns. 1 to Macklin, which brought him to within 10. And they got the field goal from 33, and perhaps, as they review this, a 5-yard touchdown run by Ware to come to within 1.
With a really resilient group, Kansas City, Kevin. We started the show today talking about this football team, their ability to overcome adversity, the leadership, the toughness that this football team has. They lost 5 straight games at one point last season, started 1-5, and yet they never panic under Andy Reid. They just kept pushing, kept grinding away, and they found a way to win 10 games, finish 11-5, and win a playoff game as well last season.
Rich, with about 11 minutes to go, Sandy, let's go down to Jerome Boger here.
After review, the rule on the field stands. Touchdown.
Nothing on tape would tell you otherwise. There's a lot of congestion in there, a lot of traffic, and they stick with the ruling on the field. But remember that missed field goal of 54 with about 11 to go for San Diego. And the Chiefs since then have got a 19-yard touchdown pass to Macklin, a 33-yard field goal, and that 5-yard touchdown pass, a run by Ware. And here is the extra point try by Cairo Santos.
Kansas City has looked like a different team on both sides of the ball in the fourth quarter.
This to tie it. Down 24-3. The Chiefs have come back to tie at 27. 17 unanswered points in the last 8 minutes and 15 seconds of the game.
Boy, they're shocked on that sideline over there. And if you're Mike McCoy, Phillip Rivers, these coordinators, you've got to get this team resettled.
Well, then take me in that sideline and into the head of Rivers. What you thinking?
Well, look, hey, so what? We've dug ourselves a bit of a hole here. We've not played our best football in the second half. But, hey, look, it's 27-27. We've got a chance to get the ball back. You look at the Melvin Gordon. He's been quiet, Kevin, in the second half. They lost Keenan Allen. Alex Smith really turned things on in the fourth quarter. And look at Spencer Ware filling in for the injured Jamal Charles. 158 yards, a couple big catches out of the backfield, and some really terrific runs.
Each team with a timeout.
Greg Mager back deep for San Diego. Kicking off for Kansas City.
Mager is back. Santos will kick off. This will be out of the end zone, so they'll take it to the 25, and the touchback with the 1st and 10 for Rivers there. Rivers today, 24 of 34 for 231 with a touchdown.
He has played well, and they've played well around him. I think that's the big difference. When you look at San Diego, last year it was all Phillip Rivers. And every time you put on the tape and watch the San Diego offense, Phillip Rivers was getting hit in the face or the back. Today they played better around him, Kevin, up front, the running game, but now they have to be able to shift gears and get their confidence back and play like they did in the first half.
Chiefs will go with 6 in their secondary. Woodhead will be at the side of Phillip Rivers. It is 1st and 10. The fake. He's hit. And he throws it away as he was going down.
It could be intentional grounding.
They're picking it up. They've waved the play dead. Even though you see the run there by the big man, Chris Jones, the rookie, who they really like.
He's trying to throw it away. Actually, Woodhead's in the area, so see, they won't call that intentional grounding. Woodhead actually in the area. Almost hits Woodhead in the feet.
Rivers has not been sacked today.
Now you got to be careful here.
We're going to put 7 seconds back on the clock to 59.
Correction, 56, please. 56 seconds.
Make it 4.
I'd be surprised if Woodhead doesn't get the ball in this situation, Kevin. They got to be careful they don't get the ball back to Kansas City. Kansas City still has one timeout left.
There's the kicker, Josh Lambo, who missed a 54-yarder but has kicked him in today from 29 and 28 for San Diego.
Do you be aggressive in this situation, try and take a shot, or do you play for overtime? That's a decision that Mike McCoy and the Chargers have to make. Be surprised if Woodhead doesn't get it here.
You saw the target line, 2nd down and 10.
Screen.
It's Woodhead. He's getting blocks. Slauson giving him one out there. And he works for a 1st down and gets out of bounds with a catch and run at 12. And he's up to the San Diego 37.
Smart call, safe call by Ken Wisenhunt. This big offensive line get out in front. You've got a very patient back in Danny Woodhead. He's going to let that big offensive line get out in front. And he's smart enough to get out of bounds. Now you've got some breathing room. Now you can take a shot if you're Phillip Rivers.
Chiefs stand dime. Woodhead remains. 1st and 10. One timeout, San Diego.
There's Phillip. There's Phillip Sky. Antonio Gates.
Barksdale the block. Now they come through and he goes down for the first time. D. Ford. Flag is thrown at the 27. Ford had that 3-sack game against the Chargers last year, you may recall. And it's a hold, and it's against San Diego.
Holding, offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty. We played 1st down.
That was the left tackle, Ken Dunlap.
Correction. Kansas City had declined the penalty. The result of the play, 2nd down.
Chiefs declined it in 48 seconds to play in regulation.
Right tackle Barksdale struggling a little bit with the speed of D. Ford off the edge.
Ford, a high draft pick a couple years ago. They needed to perform like this. He likes playing against the Chargers too. 2nd down and 20. They need their own 47. Into the dime. It's Woodhead. They're holding on for dear life, and Chris Jones, I think, got him. And they had Sorensen, and they had Holly. It's a gain of 4, and he's up to the 31. Howard in there making the stop in the middle, and to the 31-yard line. It's 3rd and 16.
San Diego's just going to run this play clock down. 20 seconds left on the play clock. Just 18 on the game clock. Don't snap it, he's saying. Didn't want to snap it.
3rd and 16. Here's the dash by Woodhead. Picks up 4. Johnson is on him.
They shouldn't have snapped the ball in that situation. You look at Phillip Rivers in the gun. He's trying to motion. He's trying to alert the center. Don't snap the football. You see him waving it off. And with the crowd noise, the center, Matt Slauson, he can't hear, so he snaps it. There was no reason in that situation to snap the ball. Now they've got to punt the ball. And remember now, this rookie punter, Kevin, he's had his struggles. Drew Kaiser, his last punt was a 17-yard punt. Anything can happen in this situation. The Chiefs can call a block. You've got a good returner back there in Tyreek Hill. That was a big mistake by the San Diego offense to put this rookie punter back in this situation.
Hill's back at the 25. He drew Kaiser. He'll punt right around the 25 at the other end. He gets some height on this one. At the 17, here comes Hill. Out of bounds about the 32. Zeros on the clock. 48-yard punt. 15-yard return. Overtime in Kansas City. After being down 24-3, the Chiefs have come back to tie as we go to the extra period. And those are some of the rules in the regular season.
A touchdown or safety on the first possession will win the game, and if not, a score is tied after each team's first possession. The next score will win the game. So,
well, when the Chiefs get it, Rich, they will not have Jeremy Maclin. He's been taken to the locker room, concussion protocol, and he was warming up in the second half. It become very important, including a 19-yard touchdown pass that brought the Chiefs to within 10, and a big catch at 23 yards when he really took a wallop at about the 10-yard line of San Diego.
top two receivers, the top receiver for each team out of the game. You saw Keenan Allen leave early in the second half with a knee injury, and of course the big hit to the head.
All right, Captain, we're going to play one 15-minute overtime period. If at the end of the overtime period the score is tied, it remains a tie. Each team will have 2 timeouts. All replay challenges will come from the booth. Each team will have an opportunity to possess the ball unless the team that first receives the kickoff scores a touchdown. All right? San Diego, you can get to call the coin toss. San Diego has chosen tails. And it's heads. Kansas City wants the ball. Which way would you like to kick? Kansas City won the toss.
Alex Smith and the Chiefs score 17 unanswered points in the last 8:15 of regulation to tie it at 27. OT at Arrowhead. The Chiefs and the Chargers. Kansas City has beaten San Diego 4 consecutive times. Chargers were only able to muster 2 field goals all of last year in the 2 games. San Diego came out and led 21-3, then 24-3 in the second half. The Chiefs have come back, tied it. They had the flip of the coin. The Chiefs won. Niall Davis is back about 4 yards deep in the end zone, and the kickoff will come from San Diego's Josh Lambo. Overtime, and here we go. And he'll again let this fly over his head to the 25 and a touchback. And a flag.
We'll get the ball at the 30. San Diego's offsides with their coverage units. That is great starting field position.
Can you believe that?
First and 10, Kansas City.
Stakes in the kicking game.
Flag is back at the 40 at the other end.
Offside on the kickoff. Kicking team, number 20. Kansas City has elected to have the 5-yard penalty assessed from the dead ball spot, the 25 to the 30-yard line. First time.
Dwight Lowry, first-year Charger.
First and 10, Kansas City from the Chiefs' 30-yard line.
Bottom of your screen. Yeah, right, Rich?
They've got actually 2 of them.
Yeah, right. Either one. So Maclin is still being looked at. Base defense for San Diego, 4 in the secondary, and that's what Alex Smith will take a look at with a 1st and 10. Where is it aside? Legion again is on the trail of Smith, and he's got Ware near midfield. He had the matchup he wanted against the linebacker Perriman. A 20-yard pickup and a first down. Flag is down at the 45. It's against San Diego.
Holding, defense, number 50. That penalty is declined. The result of the play, the first down.
You talk about Spencer Ware and how well he's run the football, but how about him out of the backfield today? He's their leading receiver with 7 catches for 129 yards.
You said at the beginning of the broadcast, no Charles, no problem for Kansas City. Ware, along with West, have been terrific. That depth is paying off.
Play is under review.
Let's see if he got both feet, and obviously they're going to check for that. And if he had the ball, a lot of things to look at on this particular play, which, as it stands now, is a 21-yard pickup by Spencer Ware.
He's did a really nice job catching the football.
He's got the ball, and he had, I think, the feet.
Yeah, never moves. I think this will be a catch.
One.
He's got 1 down.
2.
There's
the one
second
slid. Yeah, right, that left foot slid as he was trying to plant.
There's 1 right there. There's the second one.
So he's got possession.
There's the first one. There's the second one.
After reviewing the play, the ruling is confirmed as correct. Completed catch, first down, Kansas City.
And a 20-yard catch.
San Diego has not done a good enough job handling the running backs out of the backfield in the passing game. You look at Ware, 7 catches. West with 6 catches. 13 catches between the two backs.
You just saw Macklin. He's back on that sideline. It is 1st and 10 for the Chiefs. In the pistol. Ware is there. He gets the pitch. Oh, there was a beautiful block by Ross Travis, the tight end. It opens the door. Teo brings him down. It's a run on the edge, wheeling for 13. They put him at the 37 of San Diego.
Little option. You're going to see Alex Smith come down the line of scrimmage. He's just reading the end man on the line of scrimmage. Melvin Ingram commits, and Smith just flicks the ball to Spencer Ware.
Schwartz, a nice walk there, too, with a look at Rivers. 1st and 10. Wilson. West in the backfield. Schwartz the block. Smith. Look out. And he'll go down to the 32-yard line. He is hit on the play by Kyle Emanuel. It is a gain of 5 on the running quarterback, Smith.
He is slippery. And he is not afraid to pull the ball down and run.
And he knows a lot of times the exact time, Rich, to do it.
Kevin, you remember in the beginning of the game, I said that the best thing he does each and every week is put his team in a position to have a chance at the end of games.
Chiefs already in field goal range. Here's a run by Ware on a 2nd down and 5. Atachu from behind, jumps on his back. He picks up 2. Rich down to the Charger 30.
Jeremy Macklin back in the game now. Andy Reid has that luxury as he looks at the play sheet. Macklin had the touchdown catch on Jason Verrett earlier. Really nice back shoulder throw by Alex Smith. Critical 3rd down for the Chiefs.
Chiefs trail 24-3 early in this second half. 3rd and 3 now in overtime. West was in the backfield. That's going to go outside, and that's going to be caught by the tight end, Kelsey. He was knocked out of bounds by Lowry. He picks up 8. He gets the 1st down. They'll put him inside the 22 of San Diego.
They put everybody on the one side. They get the one-on-one matchup that they want. Travis Kelsey on the safety Lowry. And that is a mismatch. Boy, Kelsey's come to life here in the second half as well.
He's had a nice day. 5 catches for 59 yards. West is back there with the quarterback, Alex Smith, on a 1st and 10. And here they go to Wilson. And a couple guys over there, including Flowers. There's no gain on the play. They'll stay right about the 22, 23-yard line.
Well, you just get the sense that Alex Smith is really feeling it now. 33 of 46, 349 yards and a couple of touchdowns. The only mistake, the interception, it actually bounced off the chest of Jeremy Macklin. Other than that, Alex Smith has been very efficient once again.
Back at the 23, 2nd and a long 10. What is Andy dialed up here?
We talked about in a critical situation, where do you have to look? You have to think about Macklin or Kelsey in this situation.
Smith, Schwartz the block. Looking for Kelsey. What a catch! He beat the tight linebacker Kyle Emanuel, was covering on the play. A 16-yard catch. Kelsey has got the ball at about the 8 of San Diego and a 1st and goal.
This game is all about matchups. We saw Kelsey on the safety. Now it's on the linebacker Kyle Emanuel, and that is a problem for San Diego.
Kelsey is too big and too strong to be contained with his 6th reception.
Yeah, they're going to use a timeout here.
Yep.
It's a good decision by Mike McCoy. They have 2 to use here in the overtime.
Timeout, San Diego. They're first.
They got to get their shorts back on straight. They've got to find a way to hold them to a field goal in this situation.
Also the Pro Bowler from a season ago. Rivers has not had the ball yet.
It is the worst feeling in the world. I can't tell you how many times I've been in an overtime game and never got a chance to step on the field. You know, you drive down here and score a touchdown, this one's over.
And the way San Diego, Rich, began this game was just so sudden and so dramatic and so unexpected when they led 21-3.
You never, for a while there, you never thought that Kansas City was going to get back in it, but it speaks volumes about the temperament, the demeanor of this football team. They just never feel like they're out of a game. We saw that time and time again from Alex Smith and the Chiefs.
Touchdown wins it. First and goal at the 8. West is back there with Smith. Smith. Oops. Yeah, they were cutting in with Kelsey. And outside, they had the other tight end, Ross Travis.
That was a bit of a force. It was almost as if Alex Smith predetermined where he's going to go with the football.
Second down and goal from the 8-yard line.
Well, you see that Eddie thing of Gonzalez all the time, don't you? He requested. Ross Travis did that jersey number.
He's going to be a good player for them. A basketball player at Penn State.
Yes, he was.
Andy Reid told us he chewed up the scout team last year. They said they had to find a spot for him on the roster.
2 tight ends, Ware in the backfield. Second and goal at the 8th, the 9th play in overtime. Ware, Morris a block, Schwartz a block, and down to about the 2. Gain of 5.
Well, this is a great effort by the safety. He's going to make this tackle. He's all the way in the middle of the field. Watch the pursuit from Adai. He saves the game with this great tackle. That's great effort by Jaleel Adai.
And then Hayward got in there too. They were combining. This brings up 3rd and goal at the 2 here in overtime. Rest is in, and a timeout taken by Smith. And each team now with a single timeout. Watch this again on the tackle by Adai.
Yeah, he gets part of that face, man.
He sure
got
did.
Away with one. Wow, that would have been an automatic first down. That'll get sent in on Monday to the officials. I always say in a critical situation, if you're a play caller, you have to think about players and not plays. I want to find a way to get my best players the ball in this situation. So if I'm Andy Reid, I'm thinking about how can I get Travis Kelce the ball here? What about Jeremy Maclin? And on top of that, you look at your best player today, it's probably been Spencer Ware, and he's still on the sidelines. But he has been outstanding.
You're going to have to think too, Rich, if they don't get in now, it'll be 4th down. Would they go for 3?
Well, you've got options here. Remember now, this could be 4-down territory.
Yes.
Look where the ball is. They have a chance to run it twice here if they choose to.
And then they could leave San Diego on the one if they don't get in.
I mean, they're in a great position here. I wouldn't be surprised to see him run the ball in this situation.
3rd and goal at the 2. West at the side of Smith. Smith slices in. Touchdown, Kansas City wins it. What a comeback. What a game.
Final score, Chiefs 33, Chargers 27.
They're going to review it as they do all scoring plays. As the officials try to clear the field. Watch it again.
We're going to look to make sure he wasn't down. This is a little closer than you think. Oh, no, I think he gets in. Official was right there at the top to make that call.
They've confirmed it. Game is over. The Chiefs, who trailed 24-3, have come back to win it in overtime, 33-27. What a way to start the season.
the Chiefs will take on
And
the
what heartbreak for San Diego.
KCTV Bond.
A great effort by Alex Smith, who has been really quiet today running the football.
Oh, I guess it is still under review. The officials were waving people to the side. The Boger is still under the hood.
It looks like the Chargers feel that this one's a touchdown. Half the players have already left the field. On the option was very successful for him earlier in the game.
After reviewing the play, the rule on the field stands. Touchdown.
The Chiefs scored 23 unanswered points over a span of 14 minutes and 25 seconds. The fourth quarter in overtime. 23 unanswered points. And the Chiefs win it 33-27. My goodness. 21-point comeback is the largest comeback in Chiefs history. The previous comeback, 18 points. We will be back after this.